All right, you guys, I'm doing a video on this. This guy's kind of struck a nerve, let's put it that way. Just keeps going and keeps going. You don't get it. We try to help him get it. He says he understands. Oh, I understand. No, he doesn't. He don't get it. He don't get it, and I'm just gonna keep blasting him. Major Air Geeetar of the Sentinels, telling you. What do you do with the guy? You try to bring him around. Hey, dude, you're kind of being gaslit there to think a certain way. Maybe too much testosterone there. Steroids, possibly. Definitely likes to throw his cigarette butts out the window. But he's got cop friends that won't give him a ticket for it. Unless the guy took a plea deal, I don't know, to do what he's doing. Gotta blast one of my friends. The way you do, you don't get it. So we're just gonna keep making videos. Right here, he's trying to blast me.
Lie. We never did background checks on Becky, nor did we research your background at all. Not at all.
So somebody that's coming into your territory that you might think something's going on with, you didn't do the research on Becky's background. The point that I want to make here coming up is he actually does a slide over. He actually didn't edit out. There was a part in here he was trying to blast me there for a second, and he didn't want to play the rest of what I had to say. See, he's mirroring a video of me and Becky. And this is a 2-hour-long video. I don't really want to go through it much, but there's a part in there I've been actually looking for. I didn't get time to edit. But I wanted to point out how he edited out this part. You'll see it.
Complete lie. I hope you have proof of that, Becky. I know you don't, because it never happened.
To see if I was okay, because they didn't trust me.
Right. Well, and it could be a play the other way. You stepped into a hornet's nest, and they're trying to figure out who you are. So you don't know. You don't know. So it's like...
See how that little edited part there happened? He didn't want to broadcast what I had to say there. I wonder why. I wonder why. I'm going to play a video taken a few days ago. We'll play the end part of it. Show you how these guys think that Miss Becky Dean is acting. And they're convinced because of the way they understand. They understand this and that. And no, dude, what you're doing is you're buying the BS that's being sold to you easily. And we'll get into that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fast forward this video about an hour or so, see what happens. Hopefully we don't crash here. I'm going to play this for a little while and see if I can find the part. I might back up a little bit. See if I can find the part where... See, they're trying to figure out if Becky's acting about a attempt that they perceive as an attempt, but it's actually a ideation and they can't get it right. So they just keep going and keep going. In the next video I'll show you. Let's play this for a minute and see if I can find
coming out
this
of
part.
our closet. We're suing.
And now are attacking 2 others relentlessly.
What are you talking about?
I challenged the courts to pull up everything. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everything. I only did videos to clear up and clarify against slander that was purposely being put out there to purposely hurt my livelihood.
Really? You only do videos like that? And this one. And one after this. And the next one, I'm sure.
with my SSDI income that I am deserved because of, since I was old enough to deliver papers, I delivered papers. And then before I was even, when I was 15 years old, I was getting a paycheck when I lived in Illinois.
So were a lot of kids, including myself. Most kids start working at 15.
To detassel corn. And from that moment on in my life, I got actual paychecks with taxes taken out. Yes, back then, I don't know about now, but your parent could sign you off to actually work.
Who cares?
In Illinois and have federal, state, and local taxes taken out of your paycheck. And that's what I've did my whole life. On top of that, when I got divorced, not receiving one dime of child support, I proceeded to live and work full-time and put myself through college full-time and support my 2 children all on my own.
So why didn't he edit out that part if it's so sleepy? Right? I'm gonna keep going here and see if we can maybe find the part. I'm just kind of cruising through, trying to find a certain part.
I'm getting paid, and that is what caused
She's gonna tell
my
you that
disability
job caused the disability.
and screwed up my spine so much that I can no longer lift, nor walk, nor stand any long distance at time. And in which I know
On which?
I can have back surgery.
Okay.
But working numerous years as a
See,
physical
they're
therapist
so
assistant,
convinced that she's acting. All of this is BS. And it's actually kind of I don't want to kind of say hurtful or sad or anything, but all we got to it seems like we got a couple of chimps on the bench on the bench warming it up. I don't know what's going on.
a car ran a stoplight and hit
So
my car door.
she's going through some of her
in which
stuff.
threw out his disc.
Like I said, I didn't really go through this. I needed to pull this part if I can find it.
Warned me about all the diseases and even diseases that I could get where I got the scar on my face and on my neck.
Okay, can we get past the poor me Becky thing and
That's
get back
why
to
I was put on to disability.
Okay. Those are pretty good reasons, but there are plenty of jobs you can work where you don't have to freaking walk or stand, where you can just sit. Tons of them. What about that?
That will go to short man.
Oh,
with all
he's
his
like,
arrogance.
Again, am I short man? Am I little man? Am I angry man? I'm having an identity crisis right now about who I am. As you are continuously using these names, big head, fake Christian, satanic woman, and short man as insults, but you wouldn't stoop to that level, right? I am little. I'm little, and I'm cuddly. I'm little and cuddly.
I want
You
to
don't
blast him.
Piss me off.
Oh, is that what we don't do?
This guy is claiming that he wants to fight people like me, right? Like me and others that, you know, a 60-year-old guy that you has to use a cane. He wants to get him in the ring, I guess. Little man syndrome. Yeah, and he is butthurt about this.
What do I do?
You make me feel sorry for you.
Why would you feel sorry for me?
But you guys
Am I making freaking hour-long videos about why you should feel sorry for me?
No, he does 2-hour-long videos.
pitiful, disgusting level against other people
The way you are?
that have clearly
And see, he's making these claims where there's like nothing to back it up. He's just sitting there and in the Blue Oyster Bar after he just got done cleaning it. That's what he does. It's like sitting there in the Blue Oyster Bar. He's like the janitor for the Blue Oyster Bar. Comes in and cleans it. Jacks over their streaming station. I don't think I'm going to find the part that I want, but we're going to keep going.
and things go on their life. But you guys take it and twist it for your own hateful agenda to throw it back at me without knowing the facts.
No, we're throwing it back at you because we do know the facts. We know exactly what you're doing.
You do, huh? He does. What is she doing? Lay it out. What is
Yeah,
she
it's
doing?
almost
And
over.
yes, When I got out of court that day, after what that man had did to me, let me come back here
What man did what to you?
for a second. Thank you.
Who did what to you now, Becky? Because it's like me against the world. Everybody's against you. It couldn't be you. It's causing the problem, right? It's everybody else.
Hey, Sydney.
Typical sociopathic behavior.
See, she actually went on a live stream to try to iron this stuff out a couple of nights ago. And they just wouldn't give up on it. They wouldn't give up on it that she's acting. But yet they don't know the difference between an ideation and an actual attempt. So they keep it going, and they actually, I mean, she's losing her shit on a live stream. Because, I mean, she actually went on their stream to go, hey, listen, let's just try to work this out. And there was just kind of like no getting through to them. Anyways, I'm going to go for a little bit more. I know what I'm looking for is in here somewhere.
Got caught there. I don't understand for someone that act like I do, understand, but I don't. Maybe this is sounding more and more
Here,
like
let's go back on that just a little bit.
you. Those questions constantly, and it's not right. And that people are suicidal, they don't care. That's a complete lie. We never want to see anybody frickin' kill themselves. We never. Wow. Anyway, then we go down here. I wonder if that's the one that left something a while back or something I posted that she said she was going to beat me up in the face. I don't need to hear or see or know anyone go to that. Yeah, some chick came on my thing and said that she was going to beat me up and punch me in the face. I got caught there. I don't understand for someone that act like I do, understand, but I don't. Maybe this is sounding more and more like Becky wrote this to herself, although I have no proof of that. Just by the way it's
like
written.
all the other proof,
So,
you
yeah,
just
so-
haven't provided. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit more to
Yes.
see if we can catch that one part. I think
I
that
don't
might be
think
it.
suicidal too much to live for and then some, but they'll ask you those questions constantly, and it's not right.
Okay, I gotta go back.
Only person who comes into your chat replay, by the way. Shit, when you're dealing with a woman like Becky, in my opinion, this could be Becky talking to herself. Who the hell knows? Because nobody else is even in the chat. But because of what you said, because of your words, Becky. See, when your words cause somebody else harm or defamation, that's on you. So she says, I don't think suicidal too much to live for and then some, but they'll ask you those questions constantly, and it's not right. And that people are suicidal, they don't care. That's a complete lie. We never want to see anybody frickin' kill themselves. We never. Wow. Anyway, then we go
Right,
down
but
here.
He was
I wonder-
blasting her here and somewhere about making fun of her that she had an attempt, not an ideation. And then on the next video, I'll play it more. They don't comprehend. They're not comprehending. See, understanding. This is what I blast so much, is the understanding. This understanding of what you're being spoon-fed in a BS reality that you're trying to operate in, Mr. Captain of the 9/11 Truther movement, right? Claims he was a captain, Truther movement, 9/11. But really, these online movements are kind of infiltrated to begin with. And that's what we're up against is just like the Bundy stuff, man. It was already infiltrated to begin with, but who knows the depths of what's really going on there. I'm going to let this play for another minute. We'll go to the next video.
If that's the one that left something a while back or something I posted that she said she was going to beat me up in the face. I don't
Probably
need to
could.
hear or see or know anyone go to that. Yeah, some chick came on my thing and said that she was going to beat me up and punch me in the face. I got caught there. I don't understand for someone that act like I do, understand, but I don't.
Yeah, you just don't understand.
Maybe this is sounding more and more like Becky wrote this to herself, although I have no proof of that. Just by the way it's written. But so somebody already, just from what Becky has said so far, this woman's already formed her opinion that we are horrible people, that don't care about suicidal people, and that probably one of us, a female, came on her page or on her live stream or something in her comments and was threatening her. That's what we get, Becky, from your words. So your words are actually inciting people to take action now. I'm guessing you're far too dumb to understand or get a clear picture that's forming here about you.
Says the guy at the
Let's
Blue
continue.
Oyster Bar.
Let's get through this shit. I'm so, God, just having to listen to this freaking annoying, whiny voice with no personality whatsoever,
Right.
cracking zero jokes.
I think that's why they were trying to actually shut her down, is because she's a good researcher and she can build a channel. Maybe that was the idea to begin with. Do some horse videos on Becky's channel. I don't know. Maybe monetize, because I mean that's what a lot of disabled people are doing on YouTube. It is something you can do. You don't have to have a boss and try to get into work. See, he's saying you can still go into a job if you can't walk. That's what we're dealing with here, right? But it's YouTube, and I'll be playing another video down the road. Okay, I don't know how long this is gonna be, but I'm gonna be doing this show here for a minute. Private recording. We got some more stuff. I'm gonna let this roll for another minute. See what we can pull out of it.
Oh, God, it's so hard. I have to take time out of my freaking busy day.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's why these guys were kind of set up against her, is to shut her up because of what she was doing, going active and digging deep and wanting to figure out exactly what happened to our country. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They want to know what happened to our country, what's going on with our country, why are these things happening, why are ranchers being kicked off their land? Woman that likes horses, has property, comprehends ranching, digging into the BLM, and we got this bozo calling her dumb and all this other stuff. But I like blasting him, actually, because he's actually very contradictive of himself. And it's starting to show more and more. Yeah, major air guitar.
Sit on my ass. And as Becky has stated, she likes to she likes to stay up all night and then through the morning and then sleep through the day. That's really healthy.
Well, why is that? See, she tried to explain to him on his live stream that she has insomnia and she's home, usually home alone at night because her husband works during graveyard. So she stays up and then they sleep together. I mean, what is it this guy's business? See, why does this guy have to try to shut people down? And I'm sorry, but this is a bad attempt. This is showing that there's something bigger going on, and this guy is buying the BS that's being fed to him. Oh, I can't wait to play the next video.
That was in the last video that you took down, the Pete Santilli one, but that's been re-uploaded, so we have everything you said in that one too. Just to let you know.
Yeah, he should have started doing background investigations before all of this. As being a group, the Sentinels, give me a freaking break. I mean, seriously, that's how these movements start. They supply a group like this, laptops, send out some laptops, send some phones. You never know what's on them. Not even kidding, man. I'm not even kidding. Let's see. Hopefully my contraption that I'm working on here works. Crap, it looks like we're getting shut down on this. Might have to try something else. Doobie doobie.
On 60 Minutes. And what they've done is had an interview with Susan Wojcicki, who's the CEO of YouTube. And she was, I think, married or the brother or sister of someone at Google. And what they did in this little clip, it's 26 seconds long and it's on Twitter. She talks about how they hacked the algorithms and then stopped putting people under recommended videos, which would be me and any truth teller and Q and any people in the conservative movement. What they did is they moved them out of recommended videos. Basically, they're admitting to hiding us and taking us out of the loophole so that they're harder to find. And there's so many people that write to me and say they can't find my channel, they don't see my videos. This is why.
How do you think they get that to happen? How do they know who to do that to? I think it's by like guys that, you know, like Eric Spitfire, China teaming up together, doing mass flags, mass thumbs down, and it takes you out of the algorithms. And it's there. It's all there already. I don't have to sit here and try to convince anybody. It's just already there. If you can kind of see through it all, right?
You have her confessing to calling everybody a conspiracy theorist and anybody who's not mainstream news, and choosing to not let the videos be seen. And she said it cut down viewership by 70%. That's almost 2/3, everybody. But this is election rigging. This is hacking. This is tampering. This is theft. This is illegal. And it's every single thing that I thought about in my lawsuit. And it's against the law for them to try to prevent people from videos they want to watch and making them hard to see.
Or they harass the content creator to get him to shut up. And it's been proven. Actually, I think I got another video lined up. Kind of lays the whole thing out. I'll let that one go here after a minute. The whole bee's nest was whacked open today, I'll tell you that much. Kind of explains how to shut down a content creator and the big elaborate scheme to do that. Kind of interesting.
They've deleted a bunch of channels. They've kicked off a bunch of people. But for the people that are here, they're talking about how they hide them out of the recommended views. They don't let people see uploaded new content. And then, of course, they go and steal and delete a bunch of views and try to make them fall under the radar so that if anybody searches for any videos, if they don't show enough views, they're very hard to find. So they've really manipulated their entire, website in order to prevent people from reaching any kind of news that's got any reality and truth to it and takes business away from fake news.
Yeah,
and
they want them watching like groups like the Sentinels and herding people towards there. I wonder why. Trying to work with Pete Santilli. That falls apart. Whatever happened. Hey, you know what? These guys wanted to be famous, but I don't think they realized they were going to be in the news like they are now. Because they're the news.
Whatever they want to shove down our throats, they're just admitting to hacking it and making it harder to find. And this is the fight that I've been telling people about. But the amazing thing is, Democrats are dumb enough to go give it in an interview and tell people they're doing it while it's illegal and while it's against the law. And what should be happening here, this is a confession right here of a crime. This is a confession of tampering with what is our virtual property. And people who don't understand the law say it's their website, they can do what they want. No, they can't. Just like if I have a convenience store which is open to the public, and their website is open to the public. I can't come in and tell you what to eat and what to drink and take soda away from you and say I won't bring it up because I don't want you to have soda. Or I can't say to you, I can't sell you soda because you're Asian or you're black or you're not born here or you're under 25. You can't discriminate anywhere. And what they're doing is they're bypassing all the laws and making up new rules, and nobody's doing anything about it. And it's going to get to the point where they have to fix this because they have confessions from Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. They have confessions from Jack from Twitter. Now you have it from YouTube. You've had it from Google. And every single one of these people is getting off scot-free without any consequences for everything they're doing. If I have 24 hours in a day in YouTube, I get to spend it the way I want. You don't get to be a socialist dictator and hide my content because you don't think it's what I want to see. I get to be the judge of what I see, and every person has that right. But you are looking at every single socialist dictator in government and that own these websites that want to prevent social media from having access to the truth. So every single one of them has the same agenda to block it and to not let us know. And that's why somebody at some point has to be the final straw that broke the camel's back, and from there on we get things done by the law. And she makes $300 million a year at last count, everybody. And she got that money from all the channels like mine and every other truth teller that they stole the monetization from. And that is part of her paycheck because she gets a cut out of the earnings of YouTube and Google. And they're just changing things every single day to try to prevent who they don't like from having any free speech. Thank you.
Some crazy stuff. I had to go out of order there a little bit. See if I can get back to where I was trying to go. Come on. Holy cow, we got some chimp action.
We've got 3 guys here at the table that want to bring something to the table.
Yeah. Bringing nothing to the table. I'm going to play this last 5 minutes of this video. So they got Becky on there with them. She's been going at it with them for a while, trying to just tell her story, and it's just every time there's like a focal point, some magical thinking happens, and that's magical projection. And that's what's going on here. These guys have no comprehension of what's like in front of their face besides, freaking ice cream or dinner. That's what they think about. And boobies, probably. Boobies. Which I don't even think Eric Spitfire probably likes boobies. I don't know. I don't know if he's doing a show at the Blue Oyster Bar on Tuesday night's special show.
I've had that happen, Becky, and it sucks, and it's horrible. But my intention for that video
put up on you like that?
Becky, my intention for that video was not to make fun of it. My intention in that video, which I proved clearly, is that you said I wasn't suicidal. Then you said you were. Then you said you weren't. Then you said you were like 15 times. You kept going back and forth.
What do you think? I'm live on YouTube for everybody to hear me, Eric. It's not something it's supposed to be a public thing.
But do you understand
I was
why?
emotional and went live because I called a suicide hotline and you took a big of it.
You said you weren't suicidal, then you said you were, then you said you weren't, then you said
Because
you
I was
were,
public on the air. I had to
okay,
talk
but I'm just saying,
to the
maybe you should think
hotline
about
call.
what you're saying then.
No, I wasn't going to tell everybody on
1 minute you're
YouTube that
like,
I was
no,
suicidal so they could
no, I
call
don't know
on
why
me.
people- Becky, will you agree with this? There were videos
And
you put out.
that's actually part of it. What they want to do is actually get somebody worked up like that to where they can then they can actually call in a welfare check. Now, I don't know if the Sentinels are doing stuff like that. Okay, I don't know, but that's what does happen. Okay, they get somebody, and it's part of, you know, a video I'll be playing here in a few minutes. It'll kind of tie some more stuff together for you. It's actually a mirror that I popped up today, and this is the problem, because when somebody, and this is a tough subject to talk about, when someone has an ideation of suicide and they actually call the hotline, and it's because it's almost like God reaches through and says, hey, you don't want to do that. And believers, see, they trash on her that she's some satanic fake Christian. Right, but they're getting all this BS fed to them. These guys really don't have any original thought and creative thought. Okay, it's always stealing it from somebody else. I'm just going to say it that way.
You cut out, Eric.
I was in that
There's
word.
videos.
Say it can't be both, right? That was my whole point. And you tried to twist it into I'm making fun of you for wanting to commit suicide? Look at the chat. You know the message is the chats you guys all look through? Why don't you look through that chat? What did I say, Becky, in that chat?
I wanted to commit suicide several times during the making of this video. That's what you
That
said.
was not my
I
question.
wanted to
What did I
commit
say about
suicide
that?
many times during the making of this video. You said.
Did I make fun of you in that chat? I said I want to see
Yes,
anything
you
after that.
did.
I want-
You laughed at me.
I did not laugh at you. No, I did not.
You said I
No,
lied
I-
about calling a hotline number. You said
Nope.
I was scripting myself.
Incorrect.
I
Incorrect.
clicked on that
Nope.
video
Didn't mock you for that. Nope.
ASAP
I
because
didn't
it
mock
was
you at all.
embarrassing. Yes, you
I
absolutely
bought that,
do.
Becky. Okay,
You
it
want
is
to see the
embarrassing.
whole live chat? Put up
Dude,
the
that's
whole
not
live
the
chat
point,
with it.
though.
Where you
Nobody
type.
was making fun of you, Becky. My
I
point
got
was
it. I
that
got
you
it all.
said to me 15 different times that you were and you weren't, you were and you weren't.
No, the point is
Nobody's
you guys were
making fun of
making
you.
fun of me.
He's
Yes.
kind of is good at deflecting there, not really just sacking up on it. He did. It was a fun thing for him to do, that 2-hour video we were just going through. He was having a blast with it, just retorting and retorting and retorting. But really, there was no real evidence provided. Maybe some timestamps, which, you know, hey, was set up fairly impressive in the Becky with good hair video, harassing Becky, right? And you know, poking a little fun at me, which I can take, but you know, to edit out my parts where I'm actually laying out some thick stuff just shows me enough, man. Shows me enough.
We're-
In chat. Go to it, Dean.
I'm
Yeah,
searching it
right?
right now.
Yeah,
Searching it
go in
right
there
now.
and see what I said. Go in there and see what I said. And you know what? I didn't like you at all then. And see what I said. Was I making fun of you? Or did I say I don't want to see anything happen to her?
Several times during the making of this video.
Read it. That's not what I asked you to read. Read what I wrote in there about. Anyway, whatever.
The Sentinels of Truth.
Coming on in
I
debate.
wanted to commit the Sentinels of Truth. I wanted to commit suicide several times while making this video.
Okay, and where was that at?
That was underneath Lori's I'm suicidal. I need to find that rope.
Lori,
Oh, that was
Lori,
under Lori's video. Okay.
No.
You
It
guys
was
are all
your
buddies with?
channel. It was your channel. And
She
Lori
made a
was
video
with us.
about it. She made a video talking about getting a rope. But I'm
Yes,
the bad
she did.
guy because you contradicted yourself all those times?
Well, at least Lori kind of sacked up and says, yeah, I was pretty pissed and gaslit and tricked and apologized. And that's it. It's a squash right there. These guys, for some reason, and this is hard to say, but what if they took a plea deal to do what they're doing? That's what we're finding. Finding plenty of people that took the plea deals and went informant. I'm not saying these guys did, but it seems like they're pulling all the stops to shut this woman up. And they're so convinced that she's acting by the end of this, another few minutes, This is a great ending, not on Becky's part, but on the chimps part, where they thought they had her, right? But to me, it's just like, oh my gosh, these guys are totally exposed.
No. You never came to me
made-
for any kind of peace. I tried to talk to you.
Ever. When?
Well, you sure did. We still got
told
the
me to
video
take
up, and it's true.
Dude, the reason I have
You
the
got the
video,
video
once
up,
again,
and it's
is
true.
I'm saying you were and you weren't. You see what I'm saying? If you were,
No, you got to see what I'm saying. When I'm on a public
Yeah.
where everyone's making false welfare checks on me, like my stalker did when I
They
was
weren't
sleeping in
false.
bed and I
How are
wasn't
they
doing
false?
anything. No, this is before that video even began. My stalker had made 2
How are they
welfare
false,
checks
though?
on me.
See, and that's what they do.
It was a
come out and say you're
Facebook.
feeling.
That's what it is. You get stalked, and then your stalker's all of a sudden worried about you and calls in for a welfare check, which even heightens everything more. It almost seems like some type of Jade Helm 15 like freaking drilling to test response time, test a police department. And you know what? It's really interesting that rural people are being targeted, and I think MK Ultra to like try to pull off the agenda. It's like they're gaslit to almost like go to work for the bad guys. Okay, and we're finding that. We're finding more and more of this.
I didn't. That's the point. You didn't even get to see those. You haven't even seen those. She had already made 2 welfare checks on me.
So you, I like I said, I've never done that.
When I
was
wasn't at
concerned
all.
about you,
When I
though.
wasn't at all.
There's no. Please show me the evidence of making fun of you for being suicidal.
I've got the whole stream, Eric. I hope you know that.
Right? He's so dense he doesn't realize what he was doing in an entire 2-hour stream. The way he was blasting Becky and a little bit on me, he was so triggered. He had no idea what he was getting himself into. He thought he was blasting Becky and all that. And oh my gosh, I've got other videos on that stream. The end part where he's just like, oh my gosh, there's like so much evidence, like overwhelming evidence.
Tell me where I was making fun of you for being suicidal.
I read the comment. I wanted to commit suicide
Okay,
several
that
times
comment
during
is
the
not me
making of
making
this
fun of
video.
you for being suicidal.
Oh, how isn't it
It's
when
not
you're
making fun of
talking
you.
about, when you're talking? Yes, it is when you're talking about
Yeah,
me
exactly.
making a scripted call and a fake call to 911,
Again, wait, what? They called the 911. What is that?
or not to the suicide hotline.
See, they don't
Because
believe
you
her.
said it yourself. You said I wasn't suicidal. I don't know why people are saying I was suicidal. I was never suicidal. And then, like, 5
Because-
minutes later, you said you were.
Because there's a spot in between it, Eric, that I don't think you understand unless you've walked the
I
line.
do understand, Becky.
There you go. He does not comprehend. He says he understands and he's this great sports trainer and all this other stuff and he knows psychology. He doesn't. He understands the BS that's being fed to him to blast Becky and others. Why? Why is it ego? Is it just her ego? But he's buying the BS that's being fed to him that Becky is an infiltrator. Becky is faking it. Becky's an actress. This is actually, I mean, as bad as it hurts me to roll this video about my friend Becky, this is juicy. I mean, these guys actually put a comment in this video that they destroyed her. They like she's destroyed as a fake. But see, these chimps, can't blame them really for what they don't know. But they understand all day long. I understand. No, dude, you need some comprehension in your diet.
Okay, then let me explain it. This spot where I thought about it, okay? And I walked through my garage
Okay.
and glanced for a rope because I wanted to be in replace of my niece, okay? And then instead of going any further, I called the suicide hotline. so?
And that's what happens. It's like almost God comes to you, you know, you get in that moment. This is through case study of ideation. You get in that moment, and you're like, holy crap, you kind of like come out of it, and maybe God talks to you, hey, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to go where people go that do that. Not as a believer. You kind of snap out of it, and then you look for help. But they have no idea. They say they understand, but they have no idea between what an ideation is and an attempt. And that's why they think they have her. They're just convinced she was suicidal and was going to take her life. Well, there's like she said, there's a fine line. There's a middle ground there between getting an idea, pursuing something to help you, and then actually doing it. So, I mean, this woman's been through so much with her niece actually committing suicide the year before. It's like around the 1 year anniversary of her niece's suicide, and they're making videos about her, harassing her. But it's all under the veil. It's just all, you know, veiled little threats and stupid snide little comments here and there, right? He put it in a comment under his own video, I guess. I wanted to commit suicide 3 times during the making of this video. That's just being an outright idiot. And I don't know how to blast this guy any other nice way, because I really do want to start swearing. And I've been trying really good because, you know, I might be like born again, okay? I'm born again. But for some reason, I still got the sailor's mouth. And sometimes it comes out, and I just really want to just let it rip on this guy right now, but I'm trying to be really cool. I'm trying to be really cool, all right? That's why we got the music on in the background. It helps keep me calm.
That's a fine line. It crossed through my mind, but instead of acting or picking up a thing or following through with anything, I called the hotline for help instead. So that's why it goes back and forth, because you guys want to say that means I'm suicidal. And so I said, I did feel suicidal that day. That's why I called for help. But I wasn't going to commit suicide. I believe in God. I love my children, my grandchildren. I was desperate for help. I had been through non-stop court. And you want to know how somebody goes 5 days without sleeping? It's called insomnia.
So we kind of saw back there where, on the last video, where they were blasting her. Who doesn't sleep for 5 days? Yeah, she's got insomnia, dude. From everybody messing with her. Like I said, I'm gonna play a video. It's gonna tie it all together. Released today. Ties it together real well.
It's a diagnosis of mine. It's called insomnia, Eric. From all of the PTSD and the stress that I've had from my stalker.
We lost Eric. Hold on, Becky.
Okay, because Eric doesn't believe the bullshit that you're talking about. Neither do I. I reckon it's all.
Fuck you and I'm gone.
I don't care.
How dare you over my niece and me? You
Oh well.
Becky, get out.
Get off. Go and cry on someone else's shoulder. Goodbye.
Becky, get out.
Go and climb on your hairy
And he ended it. He ended the stream right there.
Oh, here we go. We got a tub troll show.
He ended it right there. Because he was convinced they have her in a corner that she's acting. These freaking chimps makes the tub chimp look like a saint, I guess. I don't know, man. We're going to play this tub troll show for a minute.
You know, I like making these videos in the hot tub. You know, it's kind of simple. Can present a clip, you know, edit it, pause it. It's kind of fun. But yeah, this one should be pretty fun. Here, let's just roll this for a little while. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go over a little psychology. Right? Got some tub troll footage. Somebody was talking about the tub troll.
All right, I'm actually going too long on this video. This is actually a good video. This is published. This is public. See the title. I'll put the title on the screen. Check it out. Code Red. This is where we got him. This was right after he made the Becky with good hair video 3 months ago. All right, you see the title right there. Okay, we're gonna move on because this video is already starting to go too long. These guys actually thought, and I don't know if it's affiliated, associated. Actually, yeah, they all do kind of hang out together. One Who Got Away thought that I was at one time that I was David Fry, the last 7 at Malheur, one of the last 7. Kind of interesting. He thought I was LARPing. Really interesting. Actually, let's play that now. Yeah, we're gonna turn down that lame music. Oh yeah, poor One Who Got Away. He thinks he's so badass. See, they're all kind of tied together. Miss BB, Eric, One Who Got Away, China. Now now it's coming in Sob, Spoofy. I mean, all these guys are kind of working together to kind of let's say blast the free press. And investigators, yeah, really interesting. Here, listen to that music. Here, listen to music. This is a One Who Got Away film. What's he trying to prove? See, it's all about the timing. It really is all about the timing of when these are released. Here, let's pause to see how long ago that was released. 3 years ago. Aaron V. Cox related to David Fry. Well, not David. See, he had to keep that name out of there. But you see, Canada promised to make me burnt toast, and that's why all these films came out all around the same time. From One Who Got Away, One Who Went Full Gay. Why did they try to link me that I'm David Fry? They thought I was David Fry. It must be the big nose, Sicilian. Maybe David Fry's Sicilian. That's why he's got maybe a hot temper. Yeah, this seems more like Project Lucid type film they were trying to do on me. Kind of interesting. I didn't strike him. That's why the video is still there. I only struck one of China's videos. And that's because he was harassing. He's harassing Shauna Cox. He put her name in the title, Piggy Shauna or something like that, and full name, and I struck it. It went away. Yeah, not much creativity. That's how they kind of steal your creativity through through your videos. Kind of sit there and don't really have much creativity as far as doing original work. But it seems like Project Lucid, I think. These guys are more about either being paid. See, it all came up too in kind of a court case. These guys are being paid to make videos, right? Even though they're Canadians. Somehow getting paid to make videos. Look at that. I guess we do kind of have the same mouth and same nose there a little bit, but no, I'm not David Fry. These guys don't even think my real name's Aaron. It's kind of funny, right? You never know, though. Never know. But the guys, people that really know me that watch this channel know who I am. All right? That's all we got to say. Oh, jeez. I think I'm going to move on. This got released today. It's 1 hour and 23 minutes long. So kick back. I'm just going to kind of let it roll because I'm telling you, this is an explosion that came out today. Exposing online death cult leaders, which could all be connected to maybe, Brenda Becker, Sentinels, other people that kind of help them harass people to create defendants. Because when you start attacking back, all of a sudden you're a defendant. And he goes into it. This is what he goes into. Marcus Conte, who knows, man? Some people think he's CIA. Some people think he's CIA just because of his wig. I don't know. I think he's a strong New Yorker, not taking any BS.
That's right, man. Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning. So we're going to take a deep dive. Hold on, guys. Hold on. This is LARPer stuff. Come all LARPers, come into the room. Join me for a LARP session, a session of exposing rather dangerous LARPers. To me, I know for you guys, a lot of this is fun and games. To me, it's a chore in cleaning up the internet. I like a safe place to hang out. I like to think that I'm on YouTube and I'm a good guy doing good work, telling the truth.
I hope he is too, you guys. All right. Which a lot of people are like, he's not legit. Well, who freaking knows? Till people actually get arrested and start going down for some of the gang stalking to help facilitate it through YouTube. Right? And I've got a question. He starts going into all seeing you in here, and I've actually got a question where really interesting. He starts just so I can go. I've got some other stuff to do. I'm going to let this video roll. I'm just going to say this right now. He goes through a segment with all seeing you. It's really interesting because right after the teenage FBI blowout with all seeing you, she went all of a sudden she went live on her channel, and it was actually the teenage FBI stream coming through her channel. I was like, wow, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't know they were feuding, right? I really don't have a lot of time to sit here and try to figure out who all the LARPers are. But it was really weird about that video, that stream that popped up from All Seeing You's channel. It was definitely the teenage FBI's freaking stream coming through on her channel. And I was like, hey, that's kind of a cool trick. That's, cool. Yeah, let's watch teenage FBI and All Seeing You channel. But it was really weird. I don't know if they hacked in her channel or what was going on, and that was his revenge, Leppo's revenge or something, or if it was a LARP. But anyways, I don't even know what I put in there, and I wasn't mean or anything. I was probably supporting. I actually think what I put in there, I was like, hey, cool, teenage FBI and You's channel, right on, and they blocked me. I got that video. I think I actually got that video lined up because I want to see the timestamp on that. Oh, yeah. It's in here. It's in here. Boy, I do got a long playlist, but since I'm recording this and I'm not streaming, I'm going to try to still keep it as short as possible. Anyways, we'll do a premiere on this later. Thanks for joining in, you guys. I'm sure there's going to be people watching this, even if it's a couple. I appreciate it. And yeah, this is important stuff because it's what they're doing is they're trying, and I've said this before, they're trying to affect the current existing cyber hacking laws and combine it with the cyber bullying laws somehow, some way. But they had to have defendants. They had to have LARPers out there, live action role play people, to attack people like Becky, to attack people like me, to attack people like tons of people. They're attacking tons of people. Anybody that wants to claim independent journalism on the YouTube platform, you're getting attacked. And they've got to have actual LARPers to do that. But once again, we don't know really who they are until somebody actually gets arrested. But hey, there was an impeachment, today with Trump or yesterday? Yeah. It's all tied together. They're trying to sway a freaking election. But they need LARPers. They need people to do this. I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, here we go with Marcus Conte laying it out. Could be wearing a wig, could be CIA. You decide.
I like to believe that. And some of you will try to spin that and say, oh no, Conte's a bad guy. And I'll show you some examples of that. But I find that that there is, in fact, a correlation between a couple of murders that have occurred and really egregious acts of aggression towards other people as a result of people going down these online rabbit holes. Now, some have called it a death cult. Some have called it a blackmail ring, a conspiracy gang stalking ring. I call it all of the above. So we're going to talk about one particular one. I've covered it many times on the story, but we're closing in now. We're closing in, we're narrowing in, and we're getting more and more evidence because, hey, listen, I'm an evidence-based guy. You can say whatever you want. You can make up all kinds of ridiculous stories if you like to, but I base everything that I say. I have a recording in their own words, of them, in their own words, saying it. Right? None of this is me saying it. Right? And that's the phenomenon of YouTube. Right? What a great, if you want to do investigative reporting and you want to base it on evidence, these guys, the three that I'm going to talk about, which is Dave Swaggart, he's the I Had a Dream bomber, the guy who created the video that he had a dream about blowing up, about two reporters who were going to go and blow up the Port Neches, blow up Corpus Christi, flying a flame-throwing drone. That guy, right? Dave Swaggart. Thomas Schoenberger, who's kind of a behind-the-scenes kind of thug, kind of like a grunt, kind of, I'll fucking kill you, you motherfucker, I'm gonna get you, you fucking cocksucker. Right? He's the evil fuck. They're all evil. And then there's Daniel Cromer. Daniel Cromer is the Lepo, the guy who I had on this show, and he wouldn't shut up. He kept talking. He kept saying stupid things, and eventually I hung up on him, right? And I exposed him. I told you exactly who he is. He's a librarian from New Mexico. So Swaggart is Dave Swaggart is George Webb, the conspiracy theorist, the confirmed conspiracy theorist, George Webb. This is his brother. This is his brother. Schoenberger has a long history of doing this stuff as well. Gang stalking, right? Stalking people, right? So Dave Swaggart, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of videos. We might be here for a while. I don't know how long this is going to take. So we're just going to do it. We're just going to flush it out. I have a lot of evidence. I'm not going to throw it all out today, but I have a lot of evidence going forward that may, in fact, put this, now this is speculation. This part of it is not evidence-based yet, but the evidence, as the evidence piles, it is pointing to certainly a new name we're going to talk about. His name is Justin Hess, who 3 years ago on this date was the guy, the young kid that shot his 61-year-old mother, right? And killed her, and then went on and stabbed somebody else. So Schoenberger, Swaggart, Cromer are YouTubers known. They develop trauma-based video content, right? Trauma-based video content. They called it, I think Lepo referred to it as humiliation humor. Humiliation humor. Let's humiliate you and call it humor. So it's trauma-based video content to torment targeted individuals like Justin Hess, who shot his 61-year-old mother, and Anthony Camillo, who murdered Frankie Cali, the boss of the Gambino crime family. We didn't forget about it. We're not going to forget. As those names come up, we're getting very close to know exactly who Camillo was programmed by. Who programmed Mr. Hess? We have evidence now on the table. I'm going to show you recorded evidence that leads it right back to this circle of creeps. Dave Acton, Thomas Schoenberger, possibly Daniel Cromer. All three YouTubers they're puppet masters. Cromer is probably more of a victim, and there's also another name. Her name is All Seeing You, that we're going to talk about too. We're going to go into her video. She did a confessional video, and I want to put that on the record too, where she defines the gang. She defines the inner workings of the gang. She also talks about how money changes hands, how orders are given within this clique. And someone always asks me, what is the point of this? What is the point of having an extortion ring like this, where you could extort people to drive people to murder or drive people to do outrageous, crazy stalking activity, well, there is value in that in an election season, right? Where if someone needs to sow the seeds of discontent or craziness in a certain area of politics, you can approach one of these knuckleheads and say, okay, give me 50 grand and we'll go over there and we'll sue this guy and we'll shut this guy down and we'll attack this guy, and we'll maybe we'll have a Caesar Sayoc on our hands where we'll get some crazy guy to mail bombs to prominent Democrats and we'll swing an election. And so there is a theoretical motive, which is to control narrative. Theoretical, right? That's what it is. Now, have any of these people actually cashed in on this? That is speculation, because we don't know. We do know that Schoenberger has tried several failed businesses. One, he touts some business where he took money from a prominent Republican Fox News guy, Patowski, where he took $40,000 and the thing went belly up. There is some evidence but that's speculation. But the bottom line is that they're an their online followers are groomed to carry out gruesome murders, and that's what we're finding out. So let's dive in and let's talk about this guy, because I know a lot of people aren't really familiar. I'll just bring you up to speed on this. So this is Anthony Camillo. He's what I call the QAnon killer. He's the Staten Island man, 24 years old Staten Island man who shot and killed Frankie Cali, the boss of the Gambino crime family, shot him dead in front of his house, emptied his gun on Frankie Cali. Everybody thought it was a mob hit. Everybody thought that it was related to his relationship with Frankie Cali's niece. All of those proved not to be true, at least this far, right? At least thus far, none of it is conclusive. The mob has not said that this guy was a hitman. They haven't claimed it. Usually in mob hits, the opposing side of the mob claims the hit so that they can fill the power vacuum. That has not happened. So, but what has happened is Camillo's lawyer, Robert Gottlieb, making a very, very strong case that Anthony Camillo was in fact radicalized online. He says QAnon, but I think QAnon ultimately is the bigger picture, because QAnon in itself is not a conspiracy extortion ring, a smaller ring. It has to be, to get someone to do something crazy like that, generally has to be it has to be focused. The target has to be very focused, and then the encirclement attacks. Everybody around the target starts to attack the target to get him to radicalize him. And again, that's what happened. That's my belief on Camillo. And as the court documents come out, we need to know what was his screen names online. Where was he? Not just 8chan or 4chan, but where was he on YouTube? Where was he on Facebook? Where was he on Twitter? What behind the scenes discourses was he invited into to talk? What phone calls did he receive? What screwballs were on top of this guy? That's what we want to find out. So here's something very interesting. Here's a screwball that we actually have evidence, the further evidence that which screwballs were actually on top of this guy. So this is the second guy in the picture. This is Justin Hess, and Justin Hess shot and killed his mother. Let's watch the story.
And he was found stabbed to death at a Sandy Springs storage facility over the weekend. Now, police have arrested a man for that murder and say he's the same man who killed his own mother just moments before. Fox 5's Nathalie Pozzo joins us now live from Sandy Springs to explain. Nathalie?
Well, Russ, people who knew Bill Haynes tell me he was loved by everyone. He was a music and drama teacher here.
Just stand by. Bill, they're describing the second victim of Justin Hess. the second victim.
At E. Rivers Elementary School in Atlanta, some people posting on social media today about the impact he had on their children and how he went above and beyond when teaching them. One friend tells me Haynes did not have any children of his own, but his students were his children.
He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
A community remembering this man, 53-year-old Bill Haynes, a beloved music teacher and conductor for the Alpharetta City Band.
He had a tremendous impact on people because he was open, he was very congenial, and he
This part of it has nothing to do with it. It's coming up. Just stand by.
did whatever he could to help them.
The Alpharetta City Band's founder and program supervisor remembers hiring Haynes 16 years ago after a month-long audition.
After he finished his month, I said, well, does anybody else have any other suggestions? And they said, why? He's perfect for the job, and everybody likes him.
Sandy Springs police say Haynes was found stabbed several times at this extra space storage facility on Roswell Road Saturday night. His red Audi was missing and found at the scene of an earlier homicide in Cobb County. Police say 31-year-old Justin Hess killed his 61-year-old mother at their home and believe he killed Haynes after fleeing the scene.
Before I could do it.
Okay, so there it is. There is the report from, it's actually it's 3 years to the date, December 19, 2016, and it's Fox 5 reporting.
Anything to notify the band, I just had to verify it because I couldn't believe it.
Day students and staff at 5. Mr. Haynes came to us from Fulton County for grades. Hess is charged with aggravated assault and felony murder. He remains behind bars tonight at the.
I got a screenshot of China trying to blast me that I was a Justin Hess follower. I didn't even know who he was. That's how weird these guys are. Dude, I'm just trying to make videos in my hot tub. I've got some editing skills on VHS. I don't even like to edit on the new equipment or anything digital. Much rather go back to VHS. That's why I got my setup the way I do. I play the videos, talk some trash, try to refute the lies, give you as much truthful evidence as I can, and try to be non-biased at the same time. Try not to have a foul mouth doing it. It's funny because I don't know if he's talked about Truth Convoy yet. No, I think it's down the road in the video a little bit. But the Truth Convoy was blasted me last week on her show. Somebody pointed me towards it, that she was saying that I'm partners with Jason Goodman, and I'm the one that provided the emails and the phone numbers to the Coast Guard for the Port of Nietzsche's explosion and Boston dirty hoax. Yeah, Port of Charleston dirty hoax, dirty bomb hoax. And I was the one helping facilitate this stuff in the background. Where does she come up with this stuff? And it just, for me, I've said it before in videos. I just think it just comes from Hillary Clinton because we were over the target on Uranium One. Bunch of us. Not just a few of us, bunch of us exposing the crap out of it. And this is kind of what they got to do for the damage control of that. Canadians have to kind of reach through, interrupt our comms, put a bunch of slander, libel. All these people are kind of friends. It seems like I've been chasing around the little crew that's connected to these guys that he's talking about. They're all somehow connected. And we know the one person that might be connecting them. Yeah.
Cobb County Jail without bond. Reporting live tonight in Atlanta, Nathalie Pozo, Fox 5 News.
All right, so it was an Atlanta situation, right? So now you know who Justin Hess is. Justin Hess. Just remember that name. We're just going to move forward with something else. Now, okay. So how does the extortion ring work? How does the bullying work? We're going to look at the actual gang, and I'm going to try my best to explain this clear and in a way that you can understand. Why, first of all, why was I targeted? Marcus Conti, investigative reporter, YouTube journalist, whatever you want to fucking call me, right? I'm targeted by these guys, not because they think I'm a Justin Hess. Maybe they do. Maybe they think I'm crazy because I look crazy. But they're mostly.
That's
they're
interesting
mostly
that you said
targeting
that.
someone like
That's
myself.
interesting that you said that, because that's what I've got the screenshot. He was trying to blast me that I was like some type of Justin Hess cult follower or something. I don't know. I watched the guy. I'm not even kidding. Like, somebody turned me on to one of his videos one time. Like, hey, you got to watch this guy. He's pretty out there. And I watched maybe like one. Then all of a sudden, all that crap happened with him. I'm like, holy cow, that's weird. He just kind of put it on the back burner. But what's up with Hess? Conte saying here that Hess had something to do with the Gambino family boss that was offed by Hess or something. I don't know. I was watching this earlier. I watched it when he was premiering this earlier, and that part didn't make sense to me how he tied all that together. And I don't know. I'm just, Cox just needs to shut up. Shutting up.
Or Lestat, or DeFango, or Lift the Veil, because we're what's called influencers. We're people that, when we speak, people listen, right? So
yeah, see, are you a paid influencer maybe, dude? I don't know. I hope not. Yeah.
So they target the influencers to promote their ridiculous stories and cover for the fact that it is in fact a stalking ring, an extortion ring, a ring of blackmail. So let me show you. I want to show you one of the characters. His name is his name. You know what? Let's look at All Seeing You first, because this is one of the most fascinating, revealing clips that I've seen. What I just showed you was a letter that she received after this video came out from one of the stalkers, and that's Thomas Schoenberg. So let's just look at what she has to say defining the gang. Listen to this.
So YouTube has been a real eye-opening experience for me. I have consistently been seeking, actively looking for partners to create.
So who is All Seeing You? Who is this person? Right? She is partners in one of the online, I guess, the grooming sites, and that's Teenage FBI. I don't even want to say the name, because you go there and it's just a systematic chat room of hate. It's put the target on the screen and then hate the target. Now, unfortunately for All Seeing You, I think that she was partially a victim.
Now, I don't know if Marcus is being deceptive there or butthurt, but I've been in the Teenage FBI, and yes, it is. It's like they do kind of find a special one, put it up on the screen. Now they've even put Becky up on the screen, but once again, they might be getting gaslit that she's an actress and they're blasting her and they don't even know what they're doing. But who really knows what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? Until people actually get arrested and go to jail, you don't know. And all we're really doing here is providing the evidence or a compilation of putting some pieces together for an investigator, and that's it. If an investigator wants to watch this show and help put all the pieces together of what I've been through, it might help them, okay? Because, yes, Marcus kind of does say at the beginning of his video, hey, man, I'm here just to kind of clean up the trash on the internet so I can enjoy myself. And that's what I found with my channel. What you're watching right now, okay, is that I started out, I wanted to do music shows and information shows and boy, I've been doxxed and all types of stuff, right? Deceased parents doxxed, some freaking troll named J-Man out there that's probably China. I think it's China because they trigger the same. putting out that, you know, that my dog is deceased and it's really not. But he thinks that I'm LARPing on Facebook, that it is. So this is what China does. He goes over, it's called his trans investigation, when he goes over to Facebook. Yeah. And then blasting your public information over on Facebook in a chat to get you to shut up. And actually J-Man admitted, you know, oh, you were mean to me, so I doxed you. You can't take a couple little jabs, pokes, right? Guy can't even really do a proper dox, I'll tell you that much.
But again, once you're in a ring, once you're in a gang, you then are an accomplice to all of the things that the gang commits. So when you're doing heinous crimes, when you're, you know, aggravated harassment over and over again, harassing people, mocking them, defaming them, creating frivolous lawsuits, backing those frivolous lawsuits with online commentary that supports it, you then become an accomplice. So All Seeing You is in fact an accomplice to the greater ring of Schellenberger.
You hear that? So if you're wrenching people that are doxers in your chat and letting people hang around that are known either criminals or doxers or just disgusting, vile people, and you're giving them a wrench, I think that makes you an accomplice, right?
Acton and Croman, to some degree. But
I'm going to back up a little bit.
Here's the greater ring of Schellenberger, Acton and Croman, right, to some degree. But here's how she became victimized. Just listen to her. Listen to it again. We have it in their own words. I'm not saying it. She's saying it.
To write with, to bounce ideas off of, to...
She's a talented graphic designer, and she's looking around for people to work with. She's not...
my personal opinion, talented, possibly funny, entertaining, not really.
She's not wealthy.
You know, do something while we've got this opportunity to live the way we want. And apparently, I'm not cut out for it. Evidently, based on history with the people that I've chosen to work with. I don't know. Either I'm just really bad as a partner, or the little tiny group that exists in the truth community, right? Truthers. That little tiny
Totally infiltrated. Totally infiltrated. Truth community, totally infiltrated. 9/11 truth community, totally infiltrated. Cop watchers, infiltrated. Bunny movement, infiltrated. Auditors, cop watchers, infiltrated. So these people that think they've got a little pocket on YouTube of the remnants of the truth movement, well, there's your influencers.
Is full of psychos who are just hell-bent on being as shitty as possible, and they only have each other to talk to, so they don't see anything wrong with it because they just go behind each other and say, good job, you made that one cry today, score. Or you got that person to quit the internet, or this person might have killed themselves now because of some shit that you did to them for months and months and months. And what?
You might have gotten somebody to kill themselves, or maybe kill somebody else, commit homicide, or suicide. What? This is online chatter? This is online fun?
Well, it's been, in some ways, very beneficial to me, because when I showed up, I had a whole set of issues where I couldn't get along in the world. I was so full of outrage, and I was so discontented and out of place when I got into it and started making acquaintances.
So she's feeling emotionally broken, and she finds the cult, right? She finds the group, and they say, "Oh, come to us," right? So warm and inviting, like a warm vagina. Come to us. We'll take care of you. Right? They're preying on the emotionally broken people that would be vulnerable to something like they're getting into.
Listen.
And making videos, suddenly I was getting appreciation and recognition, and I blossomed. And the chat troll stuff, the all-seeing you, starting out as an anti-hero, I mean, let's face it, it's pretty much just out-and-out villain. But getting to play around in the chat with people where it was safe to do so, and it was okay, and it was funny, and like that, at the beginning it was a lot of fun. And it gave me sort of a voice that I didn't have before. And it inspired me when I would see people doing original stuff. I wanted to do that too. So over the years, I've developed some skills that I didn't realize when I got started, but then I had a little talent for storytelling and music editing and graphics and doing like collage, video collage, taking a little of this and a little of this and putting them together in a way that you might not normally, expect to see them. And so for me, it's like, as hard as it was and as close as I came to just total self-destruction in the midst of all the venom and abuse and being able to develop those skills, learning as I was going, it's an invaluable experience.
So she's talking about the gang, right? She has an insight into the teenage FBI gang of Cromer, Schoenberger, and Dave Abner. She's in there, and and also another name, Frank Bacon, or Tyrone Simpson. I don't know who that is. So she's, and I'm sure I'm gonna find out who they are because I'm saying their name, and that's an invitation to come and start fucking with me. Go ahead, because you just get piled right on your evidence gets piled right on the records. Fuck you in the game. So all seeing you is she's telling you, giving you a window into giving you an inside window into what these guys are doing. And there's more. There's a lot more. Just bear with me. Let me cue it up for you. All right, so here's the emotional attachment. Watch this.
There's this thing that you do, and like a lot of people have picked up on it, where you get emotionally bent out of shape if you feel that you're not receiving enough attention or that you're being excluded from the group. And I think, personally, that is what brought you to the point where you're willing to be a mouthpiece for Thomas and for Frank Bacon without any consideration for the impact that you're going to have on whoever they tell you to talk shit about.
The impact on the people they tell you to talk shit about. So it's an instruction. They're directing, they're puppet masters. They're directing the lower level worker, the lower level victim to targeting people online. That's what they're talking about. That's what she's talking about.
And that sucks. I mean, I used to really admire you for your solidness. You were somebody that I looked to when I was feeling kind of flimsy, like I was floating off into the stratosphere. I would call you up and say, help ground me, because I believed that your character and your integrity and your compassion for people was something that I was lacking, and I turned to you for that. And the last thing that you did with me, I don't even fucking recognize you. I don't know you. I don't know you at all. You're not the same guy that I had in my mind. Or maybe this has been you all along, and I was just really gullible or something.
Yes, you were. It is who they are all along. And yes, all seeing you are gullible.
Maybe I wanted to see those things in you when they never existed. I don't know. And I'm never going to know because I'm never going to ask. Right? Right. Bibbly, 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 bibbly. Seeing you continue to use the art that I made for you while talking shit about me and doing nothing to try and fucking help me, it's kind of gross. Can you possibly make something of your own? Can you manufacture the skill and creativity and the talent to come up with something of your own?
So she's saying they're basically ripping her off. They're using her like a cheap rug. They're using her for her talents. No money is changing hands. They're not paying her. They're using her with the expectation that someday you're going to be part of our crew. But we need one more favor. It's extortion. In many senses, it is an extortion.
Oh, wait. Go ahead. Take your time. Thomas, on the other hand, I don't get it. I really don't get it. He has a lot of people, not just Bibbler, there's a bunch of people that go around saying and doing whatever he wants. I used to be one of them. I think it goes back to that whole idea that someday he's going to be wealthy and he'll reward people. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. Even if he does manage to make some money and get himself out of Motel 6, you really think he's going to reward you?
So she's defining Schoenberger, who Schoenberger right now has a lawsuit pending against him by a gentleman named Gabe Hoffman, a documentary filmmaker and a Wall Street guy. And Schoenberger has been running from service. He's been eluding service. So what she's saying, what All Seeing You is saying is that Schoenberger he doesn't pay anybody. He doesn't have any source of money. All he does is take. And that's fascinating because a lot of the people that go down this rabbit hole think that they're somehow one day going to be employed as a paid troll. And this guy, Schoenberger and Acton and the rest of them are going to pay them to do the dirty work. No, they're not going to pay you.
What kind of an idiot thinks they're going to become a paid troll? See, and that's exactly what Spitfire was saying. Why don't you go get a job? Dude, it seems like you're the paid troll sitting there getting a little extra money or whatever you're doing. You know, sports trainers, I don't really think make all that great of money, probably. You know, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. maybe need a little side job, or either in CI for your local department, or I don't know, maybe took a plea deal for a DUI you might have got. Right? I don't know, man. These people are crazy, dude. But it involves so much. It does go deep. It does go to murder and suicide. And people wanting you to commit suicide just so they can give each other high fives. Yeah, we got her off herself. Good job today. Clocking out here in a few minutes. Dude, this is bad. It is. It's bad. Once again, I'm going back to Trump on this. It's like, man, if, well, the impeachment's already gone through. It depends on what happens with the Senate. But it seemed like the gang stalking networks are being broken up. We do need people to go to jail over that stuff. It is somewhat of a psyop, military, black ops, shit like that it is happening. But it's like, what happened? It seems like some of it's slowed down a little bit. What do they do? Run out of funding, or I don't know, man. But there's something breaking, and it is because of Trump. Not that I'm trying to sit here and say, yeah, vote 2020 Trump. I'm telling you to make your own decisions. Wise decisions, and see through it all. A lot of hand signals, a lot of BS going on all around us. Secret societies. How do you keep them away from you? That's what I'm trying to go through. How do you keep all this from happening to you and still become, let's say, an active participant of our society to help clean up the corruption? Weird stuff, man. How do you go active? How do you stay active without being gang stalked?
Blackmail you. They're going to take personal information about you and then threaten to smear you online. See, that's what they do. That's the blackmail ring. It operates. Attack the content creators by smearing them, threaten with frivolous lawsuits, whatever. And at a more grounds.
We've heard that, the frivolous lawsuits. Yeah. See, and the thing was, what Becky Dean did is she actually took the first accurate right step forward and issued out a protection order against a woman that was spellcasting against her. Spellcasting. Techno-sorcery. Whatever you want to call it. Took the first step against her stalker. And then they used Tamara Wolf and others to say, oh, she's weaponizing her protection order. They're all into frivolous lawsuits. No, dude. The idea was to make us the defendants. Us, the defendants. Attack us, so we attack back. And all of a sudden, we're the defendants. Well, the tables got flipped a little bit.
Grassroots level, you take the people that come into the cult, the casual chatters, and you radicalize them, right? And as All Seeing You said, it's a very small group, and they all co-sign each other's bullshit. Oh yeah, you were miserable to that guy. Good job. Oh, you got that guy to shoot his gun. Fantastic. Fucking psychopath. Oh, you got that guy.
That's what it is. A lot of influencing to get you to show things about yourself personally. It's like a huge audit. It's like Agenda 21, 2030, whatever it is, to get everyone's almost like essence caught and captured into the reality show. A little bit of their essence. And if you can get somebody to dox themselves, show their face, it is like, hey, yeah, high five. We got them to show their face. What goes farther than that? It's sick and wrong. It needs to change. Wojcicki needs to be in jail over this. Because I know she's helping people like... Well, I'm just not going to say names. Because you're never 100% sure, and that's the whole psyop-y part of it. You're not supposed to really figure out who's who and what's, who's doing what. But the social media and the AI and everything is really taking us over to where people are living in this magically created reality of chat rooms and having what? Freaking prestige in a chat room? Come on.
So riled up in a knot, he can't sleep at night. That's what it is. Look at the Tooth Fairy, right? Who I had her on the show, right? Denise Mattow. I had her on the show, right? Because I wanted to know if she was crazy, or was she just a victim of these scumbags, or is she a player in her own right? And in my analysis of interviewing Denise Mattow, I found that she wasn't crazy at all, and that she was quite aware of what she was doing and what they were doing to her. But I do think that there's a certain degree of paranoia, because after that interview, she then made a bunch of vile, disgusting videos about me, calling me every name in the book, when all I did was give her a platform to speak. Now, I pick my fights wisely, right? There's no reason to fight with some tooth fairy lady from Texas, because I believe that she's victimized by these people. She's gaslit, and she doesn't have the ability to see, every time they change the story, she follows the story. She follows the gaslighting campaign on her. So she's also a victim, and they've brutalized this lady. They've sent all kinds of shit to her area. Dave Acton has repeatedly mailed frivolous allegations to her municipalities, the state police, the FBI, right? And then they're all victims. That's the thing, right? Dave Acton is currently in a federal lawsuit with Jason Goodman, claiming to be the victim. Right? Schoenberger is a two-time felony convicted stalker, felony convicted stalker, right? And has a pile of restraining orders this high, has been in so many litigations as a defendant, right? And he claims to be a victim as well. Why are these guys online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, antagonizing people? and then they turn around and say we're the victim. How ridiculous. Cromer as well. Cromer is a ringleader. He's the guy in the circus who's saying, and now in this corner, and they bring your attention to ring number 3, and over here in ring number 2, watch the beating of Tooth Fairy, and then ding ding ding, he rings his bell, and then over here there's another assassination. Watch Conti get dragged through the mud, and oh, he's got fake teeth and fake hair, and blah blah blah. Right? So Cromer is the circle.
Well, what's weird about him mentioning Miss Tooth Fairy there is that Canada actually kind of was help protecting her, calling her his YouTube grandma. Right? Mrs. Tooth Fairy, my grandma, leave her alone. He's got this guy's blasting her. Everybody's kind of doing this magical thinking projection type LARP. Very interesting. Like I said, I don't know the validity of any of this, but it does seem like a good tie together. A lot of correlation. Could be one of those things. 99% truth for 1% BS. I don't know.
Biggest leader in the crew. There's other players too, but these are the prominent ones. So let's get back to All Seeing You for 1 second.
He doesn't share. Has he ever done anything so far?
So she confirms that Schoenberg is nothing but a bloodsucker. That's all he is. He sucks. He takes, and everybody that he comes in contact with, just like Dave Acton, all of them are victims.
For just take? It's something to think about. Anyway, the point is, I have this long history with Thomas, and I've got all these details that I could talk about here that would show what a sleazeball liar he is, and always has been, and probably always will be. But if I wanted to do that, I wouldn't have closed my Twitter. I wouldn't have gotten off Discord and isolated myself from all of you. And I certainly wouldn't have made my videos private. You know, I'd be making more videos. I'd be actively fighting with the guy. But here's why I'm
interesting. We've heard about Tamara Wolf. I'm going to put my videos on private.
Because he needs that. He requires adversaries. If he's going to stay a victim and he's going to have new content for himself, he has to have people who fucking hate him and want to fight. And
see, that's a bit of a lowball view of what's going on. He does need, Schoenberger needs to remain a victim, but not just for his content, but for his extortion ring, where he gets suckers to pay him to go after people, and then everybody in the mix gets screwed. Right? It's a little more deep than simply a guy who plays the victim to get online content. Right? It's deeper, and as I said, you're going to see it results sometimes in murder. Right? With the guy, I told you, keep Justin Hess, keep him in mind, because these guys, this ring, this extortion ring has a direct connection back to Justin Hess, as I'm going to show you.
I don't want to fight with anybody. You know what I mean? Look, one thing I would like to say is that when he's telling his story about how he helped me when I was desperate for money, no, he didn't. He got Leppo to do it, and Leppo didn't even have any money. Still doesn't, as far as I know. I haven't talked to Leppo in weeks. That's a sad story. I'll get to that. But Thomas, for fuck's sake, quit lying. Just fuck off. Fuck off. I mean, there are lots of people out there that will be happy to continue to be sleazy fuckers with you and just fight, right? Right. I'm not one of them. I don't deserve it. I've been nothing but kind to you. Except for just then when I called you a sleazy liar, because you're a sleazy fucking liar. No, really, guy, get your shit together. Get yourself cleaned up, get a haircut, maybe do a little jogging, get the fuck out of the fucking Inglewood Motel 6.
She calls him out, Inglewood Motel 6. So if anybody wants to pass that information on to Gabe Hoffman, Inglewood Motel 6 is possibly where Schoenberger can be found. Now, I don't know Inglewood, California, Inglewood, Ohio. I have no idea, but All Seeing You certainly does know, because she just said it. Right? So we may have a 1020 on Mr. Schoenberg.
Go rent an apartment. Maybe get a girlfriend. Go make some music. Hang out with artists. Stop being a fucking scumbag. And leave me alone. Really, just leave me alone. Oh, I hate you so much. We're not.
So that's her take on one of the stalkers, and I want you to hear the relationship with Lepo, which is very interesting
Is
too.
exactly where they are.
It's interesting because she talks about the exchange, how money changed hands. Listen to how money finally, at some point, some mysterious hand comes in from out of nowhere and gives them money.
Oh, no. So, this is something that I want to talk about, but I also kind of don't want to talk about. I've got mixed feelings about this, and it's Lepo. Lepo. Dan and I did some really good work together. What a great writing partner. I loved working with him. And, well, here's the thing. He cares a lot about his art and himself. And those are the two things that you can count on him to care about. And when I introduced him to Thomas and Tyrone, the guys, I guess, sort of had their own plans for him and didn't need me around. And Thomas at the time was still...
So you have it, it's pretty much defined how the crowd took over Dan Cromer. Dan Cromer, he thinks he's, a little librarian from wherever, and he creates this little website, and you see how the extortion ring moves in. Schoenberger, they bully their way in. They push in. They don't ask. They push their fucking way in with acting.
Still friendly. But that changed, right? When the people around the show showing up with nasty messages from Tyrone and Thomas all the time. And I was like, hey, Dan, you want to do something here? You want to, tell them, hey, that's my writing partner and my imaginary internet girlfriend type person. Please don't chase her off. I like her and I don't want her to leave. He was like, no, I'm not doing that. That'll make me look weak and they'll just torture me over it and they're not...
So there she tells you that Dan Cromer is afraid of the guys. Cromer is afraid of Schoenberger and Acton, the guys, and this Tyrone whatever guy. Right? She's afraid of the crew that surrounds. He's afraid of the crew that surrounds his own show, the show that he created, and brought this girl in to do the work, to do some work. Right? Fear. Right? The guy is not. It's not a nice. It's a hostile takeover, is what it is. And he let it happen. He's letting it happen.
Stop treating me like shit, so I'm not doing any of that. Maybe it would have been a disaster. Maybe he's right. Maybe, considering how scuzzy these fuckers are, they would have seen that as an opportunity to really start tearing shit up. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine, just because I can't comprehend that mindset. Man, you guys are like the dregs of YouTube. And that's saying a lot, because it's a fucked up place. And you're on the bottom. Ugh. Whatever. The thing with Dan, though, is that he was putting so many hours into that show that he wasn't working at all. He wasn't making any money. And I kept saying, hey, you might want to start asking people for some money. If you want to do this full time like you're doing, you're going to have to figure out some way to support yourself, get some help. But he's the kind of guy, he won't ask. He will never, ever ask. And he didn't want me to ask, because he didn't want me to go discussing his private business that was all fucked up with anybody that might be able to help him. Anyway, at the very last minute, one of our fans, I'm talking to you, you know who you are. Thank you. Gave me a loan for what he needed to keep him from being homeless. And
a fan gave them a loan, gave them what they needed. Who's the fan? Who's the fan that bailed out two starving artists? And I believe All Seeing You is in New Orleans, and Cromer is in New Mexico. But who bailed them out? Who is the fan that gave them the loan? Could that fan be Dave Acton? Could that fan be, I don't know, millionaire Steve Outram? What fan? What fan has that kind of resources to just come and bail out two schmucks on YouTube? And why? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to bail out two schmucks on YouTube? But nonetheless, somebody did. You see how the money comes in? When they're on the balls of their ass? It's not like, here's some money and do what we tell you to do. No. Here, we're going to make you fucking miserable. And then you're going to do exactly what we tell you to do until we drive you into the ground, and then we're going to give you just enough to survive and keep your mouth the fuck shut. It's extortion. Right? It's hostile takeover. Right? It's racketeering, right? It falls into, you can categorize that kind of behavior into RICO.
I gave him the money, you know, and I'm not like kind of really in a position where I can afford to just be handing people money. You know, I don't have it, obviously, or I wouldn't need a loan to do it. I don't know. What can I do? I can't just sit there and watch somebody I care about slide into this inevitable trap where his whole life's going to be fucked. I couldn't do it. I fucked myself up to help him. Hopefully he'll get over that shit and
So at this point, I'll leave all seeing you there. At this point, we know that Cromer is a poor person who is in need of somebody's resources. We now know that there's some sort of fan with deep pockets. Somebody is now fueling. If Cromer and his crew are still online, right? If they're still up and running, someone is financing Dan Cromer's lifestyle to keep it floating. So let's move on. There's a lot more to go. We're already at 40 minutes. This is how long it takes to crack the code. So the day after, her name is Kerry Wolf, by the way. Sorry, but that's your name, right? Kerry Wolf is All Seeing You. And after she did this video, Thomas Schoenberger, Parody Lives, I have a file of 60 hate messages from Schoenberger from Parody Lives, right? And he sends this in classic Schoenberger form. He sends it to a bunch of other people. Nathan Stoltman, Terrace Renfro, I don't know who that is. He sends it to Lepo, Dan Cromer. He sends it to Kerry Wolf and fucking Freddie and this Tyrone Simpson. I have a few old emails from a Tyrone Simpson too. I got to take a look at them. But I just blew them off as irrelevant a long time ago. So what he does is he then begins to smear Kerry one-on-one. And he starts to twist the truth. Nathan, Kerry was, Nathan, he's addressing each of the people in the email. So he addresses Nathan and he tells how Kerry was the first one to start a whisper smear campaign. He tells the next one, Terrace, you've always been a very cool guy, and after you and Kerry met, and she didn't get what she wanted from you, she told me most horrible things about you and your wife. All right, so he's now, Schoenberger is now smearing the girl because she was truthful in her assessment of what was going on. So now the smear campaign, and it gets really ugly in the end. Right? If Kerry does know Mr. Schoenberger's address, she should report this to the police because there's a direct threat in it. There is a direct threat, right? And that's with a guy like Schoenberger who already has 2 stalking felonies. They lock him right up. So he talks to Hoax. I don't know who Hoax is. Hoax Wars. Right? And he throws a bunch of lies there. He talks to fucking Freddie, a bunch of lies. Here, now, I'm actually mentioned in this email, Dan Cromer. Kerry conspired to destroy your show by going on Marcus Conte and giving him information on you and then suggesting to him that he dox you during an interview. That's totally untrue. The truth of that is that I wanted to, Kerry reached out to me to bring one of them on my show or invite me to be on their show. I don't even remember. Oh, that's what it was. I was invited to go on their show, and I said, no. Not until one of you comes on my show first, and we talk, right? And I said, well, since Lepo is the main guy, have Lepo come on my show. And then Lepo later agreed. There was no conspiracy whatsoever. So you see how how Schoenberg is twisting the fact to make her oppose me, right? And the doxing idea was, I had all of Cromer's information ready to go. And if he was going to be a dick, which he turned out to be, he came on the show and he was a complete asshole and a complete dick, completely unworkable in an interview. And then I started to reveal facts about him using my psychic powers. That was my psychic powers that kicked in. So Leppo got everything he deserved by coming on my show acting like an asshole. That's why he got doxxed, for acting like an asshole, nothing that the girl had said. The reason for this was she was trying to get back at you. It's just totally not true. She's still upset that you didn't meet her in Santa Fe. She's also the one who leaked your name, and she's also part of Dopey Dave. Now I told you about the Dopey Dave videos. Go watch them. Someone is out there exposing these creeps as well. Right? And she's, I guess maybe it's all seeing you. Who knows? The reason why she did the Dopey Dave channel was to destroy your using Dave and me as augmentations to your comedy show. It's bizarre. Now here's the threat. Right? So this bitch needs to learn a lesson. What lesson? This bitch needs to learn a lesson. You want to go for it, Kerry? I recorded 14 of your conversations because I didn't trust you, and I still don't. Wow, that's a trustworthy guy. Somebody you definitely want to go into business with. He records you and then he uses it as blackmail. So he's now trying to blackmail the girl to shut her fucking mouth. You're beneath a cunt in my book, and I will have no problem completely annihilating what's left of your reputation if you continue. The next time you mention me, I'll start to release the conversations. I'll also let everyone else know your phone number and the restaurant you work at. I'll make it physically impossible for you to earn a living. He's going to go after her living. He's going to invade her private space, right? Taking it off the board, way off the board. And he's going to go after her work, the people that she works for, and character assassinate.
Seems like some familiar tactics there. Been used on few of us. Put it that way.
Do I make myself clear? Goodbye, bitch. So if Carrie mentioned me again, and I'll go to war with her. Choose your next move wisely. Right? It's a fucking psychopath. Right? Psychopath. I got a bunch of these kind of emails as well, but I'm always mentioned in some of them. So here's Schoenberger. So now you're starting to see the picture. Now we're going to lead into. So you see the consequence. That's Schoenberger in action. We're going to look more at Schoenberger, then we're going to move to Acton and how it relates to this Justin character, the guy who shot his mother.
Well, the Gabe Hoffman silencing campaign continues. He crowd-struck my Joe Blow videos. That's not going to stop me. Someone has to stand up to this bully. And
here he is. Here's Schoenberger now. Now he's the victim. He's the victim because he called Gabe Hoffman a murderer. He murdered Isaac Cappy. He called Gabe Hoffman a pedophile. He called Gabe Hoffman a gang stalker, a pedophile, a murderer. That's what Thomas Schoenberger said about Gabe Hoffman. And Gabe Hoffman turned around and hit him with a lawsuit. And Schoenberger's running from that lawsuit. If you're innocent, you come clean. You come forward. You face the music. You say, these are allegations. These allegations are ridiculous. Give me the fucking paper. I'll see you in court, jerk off. Like, that's what an honest person does, but not Schoenberger. Schoenberger plays the victim. Here he is playing the victim.
I guess that someone is me. And I'm not alone. I also want you guys to take a look at what Dave Acton has done with Marcus Conte. Marcus Conte wouldn't shut his mouth up.
So here's the tag team, right? Anybody who assumes that these two are not working in cahoots with each other is out of their minds, right? So here you see Schoenberger taking Dave Acton's back for Dave Acton trying to drag me into his frivolous, ridiculous, already debunked lawsuit against Jason Goodman in New York, right? That the judges have already already thrown 20 frivolous motions in the garbage, and now he's trying to say, good job, Dave, for antagonizing Marcus Conte with a fake lawsuit. It's not a fake lawsuit; it's a frivolous lawsuit.
Conte kept on lying. Marcus Conte has been a defendant for.
I don't lie. I give you the evidence. I give you this is in their own words. I'm not making this stuff up. They're telling you in their own words.
A number of times in his life, he's had district attorneys investigating him, and he's found to be guilty. So,
False.
3 felonies, including assault with a deadly weapon. This guy.
False. All false.
Bad news. So, I applaud Mr. Acton for doing that. His name is not Dopey Dave. That was just a pretty dumb move on Marcus Conte. He is, Dave is Mr. Acton. I am Mr. Schoenberger. Leppo is Mr. Cromer. Steve is Mr. Otram. Right? Let's get some respect going here.
So there he defines there's Schoenberger defining the gang ring, who you must respect. That is Dave Acton, that's Cromer, that's Leppo, that's Steve Outram, who I suspect may be the guy with the deep pockets, and himself, Schoenberger. Right? There it is. He just defined it for you. Want to hear it again? Schoenberger defining the gang stalker.
Acton. I am Mr. Schoenberger. Leppo Conte. He is, Dave is Mr. Acton. I am Mr. Schoenberger. Leppo is Mr. Cromer. Steve is Mr. Otram. Right? Let's get some respect.
So if that fan that gave the money to Leppo turns out to be Steve Outram is now technically accountable for all of this. Now, will we ever? That's a speculation. I'm just speculating. A guy that has a net worth of over $50 million. Did he peel off a couple of skins and give it to these people to keep the thing going? I don't know. He seems to be a cheerleader for Dave Acton's fake lawsuit that everybody and their mother knows it's fake, except Steve Outram, who claims to be a researcher. Is Steve Outram the mysterious fan that gave the money? Is he, Leppo? Is he?
Going here. As far as Marcus, you're an idiot. All right, you're Mr. Idiot.
This is what they hurl insults. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I have 40, I don't know, 25, 30, 40 videos of Schoenberger hurling insults and whatever. Who gives a shit? Fuck you.
Idiot. See, I'm showing you a monochrome of respect. So, going back to Gabe Hoffman. Gabe, you know what? I'm not going to yell and scream and call you a bitch like Isaac Cappy did, but I am going to remind you that Isaac Cappy is now immortalized, and he's not going to go away for the rest of your natural life. He is your personal poltergeist.
He's trying to say that, again, he's trying to antagonize Gabe Hoffman, who's suing him, trying to say with no evidence at all, ridiculous evidence, that Gabe Hoffman killed Isaac Cappy. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. But you see the form of extortion. Here's another one.
So I want you to take a look at Brandon Young.
So here they are. Here's Schoenberger talking about the gang that I've been telling you about all along, and where they are. That they're in this Vapor Bat Records, this little bubble of extortionists, of manipulators, right? And if you look, you see that they're talking about this reporter. You see, I love SDNY. So you've got Dave Acton inside the chat. Schoenberger is talking about the chat remotely. Leppo is leading the chat. Leppo is leading the show. All right, so all 3 players coalesce inside of this thing, and what they're saying is that I somehow am on New York State disability. False.
He's exposing Marcus Conte. Marcus is on New York State disability, and Brandon contacted Albany.
And you see how Dave Acton is very interested in that. He is? Really? Right? As if he's got a piece of information that he can use to blackmail you. That's a blackmail ring. That's how it works. This is what's called gang stalking. This is called blackmail. This is extortion. This could qualify if enough money changes hands. If we find out that the fan is well financing them, we have RICO.
And found out he's also not paying his taxes. So there's something going on here. And
so again, it raises the question: why are 60-year-old men, Schoenberger and Acton, spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, stalking people, getting dirt on people, alleged dirt? I don't even know who this Brandon Young is, right? But gathering information and using it against people, for what reason? What is the reason for doing it, right? I mean, is it? Can you really see the most profound part of Dave Acton is that Dave Acton is currently in court right now trying to convince 2 federal judges that he's a victim. Right now, I have personally sent information to that judge to show that he is actually a predator. One email, and then I showed the I Had a Dream video where he's whipping reporters into his wild fantasies about domestic terror, blowing up ports, port cities, and boats. And so I've sent now two emails to the presiding judges so they know who he is, that the FBI has also been informed. This is your civil duty. When you see something like this, you have to report these people, right? And what they do is they turn around and report you for something frivolous, right? So they're very good at it, right? Or are they very good? I don't know. I don't think they're very good at it, because if you're very good at it, I wouldn't have all your videos. If you're a well-oiled extortion ring, I wouldn't have all your videos to use. Everything I say, every claim that I've made in this video and other videos, I have recorded evidence to prove it in your own words. Acton, Schoenberger, and Cromer. Everything that I'm saying, I have evidence to prove it in your own words, whether it's on YouTube right here, right now, or in a court of law down the road, or in a conversation to the FBI. Everything that I'm saying is in your own words. Do you realize what you're doing? When you're in a ditch, stop digging. Right? Stop digging. You're already buried. So that's the extortion ring. So now
that is true, because they bury themselves with their own words. And after this is almost done. Another 20 minutes, it looks like, 20 or so minutes. We'll do a Wolfie drop for the end of this video and use somebody's words, their own words, kind of against them. But you gotta shed a different light on it, I guess. All right, continue on.
I Had a Dream video a little bit, and we're getting to the best part of it, how it ties into murder for hire, or not murder for hire. I'll take that back. I scratched that. It's not murder for hire. It drives someone to the breaking point. Right? Who would sustain some kind of an assault like this? I sustain it because I'm a researcher. I'm a investigative reporter. I'm the guy who exposed, a city municipality in New York City, a ticket quota that stole $600 million from taxpayers over the course of 30 years. I exposed the ticket quota in New York City for the Department of Sanitation and the Department of Traffic, who write traffic tickets. I, Marcus Conte, exposed that on ABC. You can watch the video. Go back and Trash for Cash video where I was on ABC exposing the truth about that is infamous. That case is, although I didn't win the case because I'm fighting the actual city that committed the crime, right? They're judge and jury and court. You're in their court trying to beat them. But I didn't win my own personal injury case and defamation case, and losing a job case. But I certainly won the greater war, which I was able to stop a ticket quota. I'm the true whistleblower in this crap. I am the only one who has an actual track record of actually blowing the whistle and it working and saving taxpayers of New York City $600 million. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I was only a sanitation enforcement agent for less than a year. And I'm also, I'll put this on the record as well. I'm also, or was until recently, a mandatory reporter for the city of New York, for the HRA department. So I've been a mandatory reporter means is when you see something, you're required to call in. You're required to report it, right? So if you see, like in the case of HRA, if you suspect child abuse, you have to report that. If you suspect someone has a pile of money and is hiding their resources, you have to report that as well, right? So, and there's always opportunities where they try to set you up. So I'm a mandatory reporter. So I'm not at this point right now. I'm not a mandatory reporter. So I just blew my own. I just want you to know who I am, because there's guys out there saying I'm one thing, but this is who I am.
I had this really crazy dream. It was really super
Why would someone make a video like this? Why would someone do this unless they were a psychopath?
crazy. So there was this lady in Corpus Christi, and she was with all these cockroaches called down that has a flamethrower on it. And if you look on eBay, you can buy flamethrower drones. So what they do is when this tanker's coming and they have these little towers on it, the drone flies out and goes to the control tower. It freaks out the pilot and he runs the ship aground. He just steers out of the way because the flame frightens him, because if there's any vapors around those LNG tanks, boom, it's 3 mile instant destruction. If this thing goes up, let's take a look at the rest of the, it's all going to get cleaned.
So there's Dave Acton explaining to the crowd, his audience, how two jerks from New York are going to kidnap a woman from Corpus Christi and use her home as a place to launch an attack in the port of Corpus Christi, using a flame-throwing drone and blowing up LNG tanks. That's Mr. Acton weaving me into the story, and for that he was reported to the FBI, because I'll tell you, when I saw it, I don't watch all this shit, but it was very convincing, it was very believable, and as a mandatory reporter, I found it necessary to call it again, and I'll do it again. If you do something stupid like this, you'll be fucking called in on the FBI again. So, for the record, Acton, I have 60 plus videos thus far. We're just going to use video evidence and some email evidence, but that's not the damning stuff. These guys say it in their own words. You know it's them. It is their voice. It's unedited. It's documented on YouTube. 60 plus videos of Acton attacking this reporter. And why? To destabilize, to emotionally try to break down the person. It's stalking over and over again. How did I encounter Dave Acton? I interviewed his brother, George Webb, over a year ago. And maybe a little before that, I was on Jason Goodman's show maybe twice, because Jason Goodman was interested in my story of whistleblowing. I was the whistleblower. And Jason approached me. I went on Jason's show once, and then we did a follow-up in front of the court a second time. There was actually a third interview that never aired for whatever reason. And then for some reason, I believe Acton somehow got in Jason's head and tried to imply that somehow I was against him. And then that was the end of that relationship. And the other episode you saw was when I ran into Jason over a year, 6 months ago, when at the Jeffrey Epstein trial, where Jason Goodman sticks an umbrella in my face and tries to take out my eyeball and knock my camera out of me. Right, so you see who came first. Schoenberger came much later. Schoenberger, I was talking to DeFango, and Schoenberger appears. All of the predators approach you. You don't approach them. I never went out of my way to approach the stalker. The stalker approached me through a third party, right? And that third party in this case was George Webb, who I had some concerns about during the Jenny Moore murder or death of Jenny Moore that I wanted to ask him about. And that has nothing to do with Dave Acton. That's between myself and George Webb. My relationship with Jason Goodman was that of a whistleblower and a publisher. Right now, I've since, converted to a publisher myself. Right? I publish my own stuff. This is what's called publishing. Right? It's reporting and publishing. So those are the interrelationships. And why is Acton trying to derail Goodman, Conti, DeFango, Lestat, anybody that he comes in contact with? George Webb, he attacks his own brother. There's probably 100 videos of Dave Acton attacking his own brother. 100 videos of Dave Acton attacking Jason Goodman. 100 videos of Dave Acton attacking Corpus Christi lady Denise Mattow, attacking Quinn Michaels, attacking DeFango. Hundreds of videos attacking DeFango. Why? Is that the behavior of a victim? Could anybody in their right mind and right spirit and right understanding of the world that we live in look at Dave Acton after what I just told you and what he's done as a victim? Right? No, everybody, you could safely say that every single person that Dave Acton and Thomas Schoenberger come in contact with are victims of gang stalking. Right? And all of the people, the ancillary characters like All Seeing You and Daniel Cromer and quite possibly Steve Outram are accomplices because they're aware of what's going on and they're not coming forward. They're not reporting the crime to the proper authorities. So let's move on. So a long time ago, about an hour ago, I told you that this guy, Mr. Justin Hess, here he is. Let's listen again.
Home and believe he killed Haynes after fleeing the scene. Say 31-year-old Justin Hess killed his 61-year-old mother at their home and believe he killed Haynes after fleeing the scene.
Before I could do anything.
What does one thing have to do with the other? What does Justin Hess, who killed his mother 3 years ago, have to do with Dave Acton? Is there a direct connection? Bet your fucking ass there's a direct connection. I'm going to show you that direct connection right now. So here is Dave Acton in his own words.
Well, what about Justin Woolley? You want to talk about Justin Woolley? Everybody, it's Justin Woolley coming at you. You know how I do these videos that I make funny noises about Jason and Marcus Clueless? I did a couple of videos about this kid named Justin Woolley after...
Does Dave Acton make? Dave Acton makes aggressive videos designed to defame people. Hold on one second. I just want to read this up. He says he's a known YouTuber for developing trauma-based video content to torment targeted individuals like Justin Hess, who shot his 61-year-old mother, and Camillo, who shot the boss of the Gambino crime family and also threatened to arrest Bill de Blasio and two other people, Adam Schiff and one other person. Right? These are the puppet masters. It's a death cult. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right? I'm sorry. So those are the kind of videos that Dave Acton makes. Confirmed. I have 61 of them in my possession. I have 40 Thomas Schoenberger videos of the same caliber, all directed at me, all with one frivolous allegation after another. I have legal papers that Dave Acton filed in a federal court full of lies that can easily debunk every last bit of it over and over again in his own words through his own videos.
He threatened my life in a YouTube video. Coming at you. You know how I do these videos that I make funny noises about Jason and Marcus Clueless? I did a couple of videos about this kid named Justin Woolley after he threatened my life in a YouTube video. Bullets in my body. Hey, listen, you punk. You're 30 years old. You live with your mom. You don't even have a car.
Now, do you really think that Justin Woolley reached out in some way to Dave Acton and made himself, that Dave Acton suddenly became, you know, someone that Justin Woolley admired, Justin Hess admired? Absolutely fucking not. It's clear that if you roll it back, I don't have direct evidence of that, but I have a ton of circumstantial evidence that proves that Dave Acton is always the predator, is always the guy who goes after you. And he did, and the guy says, come near me and I'll fucking shoot you. That's what the kid said.
Trying to get a ride to the Bundy Ranch with your AR-15, bullets in, funny noises about Jason and Marcus. Clueless! I did a couple of videos about this kid named Justin Woolley after he threatened my life in a YouTube video. Bullets in my body. Hey, listen, you punk.
So he antagonizes the target to the point of making a threat. Say, you know what, come near. I don't know what the actual threat was, and Dave Acton lies like a rug, so we don't really know what the actual threat that the kid made. He could have just said, you know what, if you ever come down where I am, and because you seem pretty dangerous and pretty aggressive, I'll probably fucking shoot you if you come near my house. It's probably something to that degree, which is legitimate. Right? I'll say it here. You come up my stairs, you won't get back down.
You're 30 years old, you live with your mom, you don't even have a car, you're trying to get a ride to the Bundy Ranch with your AR-15 arsenal? Kid, just take it easy. I talked to him on the phone once. I said, listen, relax, you're going crazy, because he wanted to get a militia to get...
So he made videos about him. He talked with him on the phone. Okay? Direct contact.
Together to go to the Texas border to fight the Mexicans or whatever. It's just crazy, crazy. So eventually he flipped out when there was a series of videos made. About 6 months after the videos, he took an AR-15 and unloaded a clip into his mom.
So 6 months after Dave Acton's videos, in his own words, I'm not making it up. In his own words, he tells you 6 months after he made the videos, Justin Hess turns an AR-15 on his mother and kills her with 17 shots. I'm not making it up. He's telling you. And you've seen the nature of the characters that do it.
And then he went to see some high school sweetheart, and she was with her dad, something like that, and he stabbed this other guy. So he killed 2 people, double homicide.
He stabbed the music teacher. We saw the report.
Kind of an Isaac Cappy thing, you know, 6 months later.
Isaac Cappy jumped off a bridge. It's not an Isaac Cappy thing. They keep trying to, Acton and Schoenberger keep trying to insinuate that Isaac Cappy, some weird guy from California, was killed by Gabe Hoffman. He jumped off a bridge because he was dealing with these crazy people, right? So they're trying to say that rather than, that's what Schoenberger's trying to hide. The fact that Schoenberger was up Isaac Cappy's ass, driving him crazy, and then when he finally jumps off a bridge, Schoenberger turns around and says some other guy, Gabe Hoffman, killed him, right? So that's Schoenberger covering his own trails. He led, Schoenberger and probably Acton led to the death, the mental breakdown of Isaac Cappy jumping off a bridge, and now they're looking for the scapegoat, put it on Gabe Hoffman and see if we can run with that story for a while.
Later, a lot of the YouTube naysayers were saying, well, you know, if Monogram and Agent, I don't know, what are we going to say, Agent 21?
It's Agent 19. So those are two new names, Monograph and Agent 19, are 2 other names of people that are documented as having tormented this Justin Hess. Okay? So that's 3 people. Acton said it in his own words. He made videos of the guy, and the kid went out and killed 2 people.
If Monogram and Agent 21 went so hard on the kid, you know, tracking him down and going after him and every little thing, I'll be the first to admit, when he threatened my life, I made sure that everybody from the mayor to the governor in Georgia knew where this kid lived.
So here's Dave Acton admitting that he violated the kid's his privacy. He basically, I have two emails from Dave Acton, who he tried to do that to me. What he does is he sends an email. that's copied to the FBI, the local police, all kinds of bullshit, the local press. Right? And he sends this email around saying that you're a criminal. That in my case, I obstructed justice. I'm a felony obstructive justice guy, right? Or someone, what else? I'm obstructing justice. I'm malicious prosecution. And what he does is he tries to smear you, basically tries to upset you by sending these emails around. So he's admitting that he did it to Justin Hess as well. So he's been on the phone with him. He's made a series of hit videos. He made a series of hit emails.
You know, down and going after him and every little thing. I'll be the first to admit, when he threatened my life, I made sure that everybody from the mayor to the governor in Georgia knew where this kid lived, knew what his story was, because he made it easy. He's walking down the street with an AR-15, making contact with Roswell PD. I mean, I can see the patch. I can see the businesses. You talk about your mom. She's got a psychoanalytical license or counseling therapist license. So we find out right where you live, like in about a minute. So if you're going to threaten people on YouTube and threaten to kill them, why?
There's no evidence that the kid threatened Dave Acton. There's no evidence of that at all. Let him produce a video. Produce the video.
Because they're not showing enough enthusiasm for the Bundy Ranch deal. So if you don't go to the Bundy Ranch, you're not...
All right, so then there's other psychobabble. But there you see, there is the connection between Crazy Dave the Dreamer, crazy fucking psychopathic Dave, the gang stalker, and Justin Hess. Now, is there a connection to Anthony Camillo? We're going to find out. One more video of acting.
Oh, and all the older women in the community will go to him so they can talk to him like, oh, you know, just go over to Dopey Dave. What are they? Laura out there, all seeing you. Who's the other one? Oh, well, Queen Tut, who hides behind Mr. Leakey. She's really funny. Hey,
Watch a grown man. He's going after Queen Tut. Whoever Queen Tut is. Queen Tut somehow was affiliated with Jason Goodman back in the day, right? He's probably named in which is very interesting because Queen Tut is probably named in his latest frivolous lawsuit, and now he's antagonizing the witness. That's called witness tampering. When you go after someone who is involved in a federal lawsuit that you're prosecuting, and then you're antagonizing that person online, you're witness tampering. So it's probably a felony if someone wanted to prosecute it.
hey, listen, Queen Tut, not only did you
But just listen to what he says about the witness. Devastating.
not teach your kid how to treat his brother and say, I'm going to go over to his dormitory room and kill him with a knife, you were dumb enough to call the cops and get police intervention. So indirectly, you're responsible for the police being there, confronting your son. And that's what led to his death. So you made the 911 call. It just hit me today. That's what you're all messed up about.
If you wanted to traumatize a mother, if you could find a better way to traumatize a mother, let me know, because this is probably the best way. What he's doing is he's traumatizing the mother by saying that the mother was responsible for the death of her son by calling the police. That's what he just said. I didn't say it. He said it. Right? Now, isn't that reminiscent of Tooth Fairy, whose daughter apparently killed herself in Massachusetts in 2011? It's very, very similar. The stories themselves are not similar. But the idea of Dave Acton going after a woman who lost a child is very, very clear. I'm not saying it. Dave Acton is saying it in his own words. If Dave Acton doesn't want people to know who Dave Acton is, he should stop making videos telling us who he is.
That you had a hand in his death, and you're ripped to shreds. That's why you hate me so much. Because of...
Because the police, it doesn't even make sense.
all my background in dealing with security and police relations.
Dave Acton has no background in any of those things. Dave Acton is likely a trust fund baby. We don't even know his resources. He was in the Boy Scouts. He may have been in the Army. He probably, to the best of our knowledge, has never held an actual job. He may have been a military brat. Nobody knows. Or he may be on a trust fund. We don't even know.
Public
But if he keeps suing people, we're going to find out.
affairs, news programming, court programming. That's why you're mad. You think I'm the representation of the police.
He's none of those things. But you see, I'll leave it there. So the point is that you see how Dave Acton. Wow, we're over an hour. I'm so sorry, man. But this is good stuff, man. Thank you for listening to this. And I'll sum it up. But you see who the characters are. You see what we're dealing with. We are dealing with a online conspiracy, online blackmail, gang stalking ring. Right? Lestat has done great work showing it. Lestat, if you want to come on the show, we'll talk about what you just saw and what I'm talking about. It's real. That's the point of this. It's as real gets, right? And how many of these rings are out there? How many people are, how many cells are out there that radicalize people to do egregious acts, right? Now, we don't know for sure who radicalized Anthony Camillo, the guy who killed the Gambino crime boss. We're not sure yet, but we are going to find that out in court. And if it leads back to this cult, this particular group, it's a no-brainer. What we need to do, again, is find out Anthony Camillo's screen names and such. But it's real, right? And people will say, well, Mel Conti, you're just obsessed with LARPing and LARPers, and it's all just a game, and they got you by the balls. No, the reality is that the shoe is actually on the other foot, where I am the researcher, I am the investigator, and I have been investigating them now for 1 year. And they're like the gift that keeps giving. They think you go away. But the statute on murder, especially with Jen Moore, there is no statute of limitations on murder. If these clowns drove Jen Moore to kill herself or overdose, I want to know about it, because I think that is possibly, at the end of the day, that's what happened with Jen Moore. That's definitely, I believe, what happened with Isaac Cappy. I think that clearly now we have evidence that it can lead to murder. In Dave Acton's own words, we hear how he instigated a crazy guy who then turns around and shoots his mother. So it's very real stuff. Very real. Is it freedom of speech? Is it First Amendment right? I got a First Amendment right. I get to say whatever I want on YouTube. There's no consequence. There's no laws that can prevent me from saying what I want to say. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm a free American. It's radicalization online, and to me, it's disturbing. I think that, here's the thing. I think that All Seeing You understands what it feels like when you're attacked. I think probably to some degree DeFango knows what it feels like to be attacked. DeFango is not innocent. DeFango has played both sides of this game, so we'll leave him out of it. Fuck you, DeFango, you fucking homo. But I don't know that, and I'm not here to say that because I don't have solid evidence about that. But what I can tell you is the feeling of being stalked for what appears to be no real reason, and it doesn't affect me anymore because I'm already past it, and now I'm in full target mode where I'm targeting, I'm zeroing in on the psychosis of this gang, right? And we're trying to diffuse it, trying to break it, Mr. Acton thinks he's doing everybody a favor by suing people, but what he's doing is he's dragging this into the courts. He's dragging the whole controversy into the courts, because when he responds or he motions, and if his motions stick, then I get to answer in that case, right? So in that case, all of these videos will be supplied to the courts, everything. So it's very real. Look, victims, I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be targeted. I allowed myself to be targeted to feel what that feels like. Right? It's still going on, and it will certainly go on after this. The spin will be ridiculous. Oh my God, right? Even in the chats right now, it's going to be ridiculous, right? But that's part of it. What I want to finalize and say is that victims, people who are genuinely victims, don't act like this. Victims of online stalking, of blackmail rings, of extortion, don't act like Acton, Schoenberger, and Cromer. Why? Because they're not the victims. They're the people starting the whole thing. They're the ones who either approach or lure people in for grooming. Right? That's what's going on. So, you know, guys, chew on that for a while. Marcus Conte reporting.
Wow, you did a good job on that.
And I've been through fucking hell.
You think Brenda Becker's innocent?
Yes, 100%.
Microphone off mute.
Guys, I gotta run for a second, okay? But I gotta run to the store. But the audio is coming through fine, 100%. It's on your end.
All right. We gotta do some commentary. I don't know how we're gonna do commentary if we've got no audio coming through this one.
Personal notes, like when
Coming through 100% fine, guaranteed, 100%.
Good morning. This is Dr. Fritz. I'm here to tell you today that I played rugby. This is not fat. I play rugby without shoulder pads and a helmet. And they sent me because it was my turn, because Julius Lexi failed, and I'm the next one in the hot seat.
Miss you, why did you gotta go block me there? All I said in the chat was this is some funny stuff. And she blocked me. Yeah, see right here.
Oh man, well now I know why she blocked me. I mean, some of it is. Some of the stuff that the teenage FEI is pretty funny. I can see how somebody could get butthurt over what they're doing, but I can see both sides of what they might be doing because of they are pushing the limits of free speech. You know, and that's why I've found out some of the Europeans are playing on our playing field in a sense. because they can't, like, dox in their countries each other. And, you know, even Russia has a new law where you can't blast a politician. You get fined, you get arrested. So I can see why they're, like, trying to play over here because of our freedom of speech, and they don't have it. But it's really interesting how a global platform is allowing that to happen, and why it's maybe being allowed to happen. That's a good question. Why are, like, the Canadians being used to, you know, be damage control for Uranium One?
Responsible. I mean, well, it's kind of creepy because a little spooky because it goes all the way to the top, pretty much. I mean, hell, the Attorney General is Keith Ellison, the guy that posed with an Antifa pamphlet. This is creepy. They contacted me. They want to know about my attack. We all know my contacts everywhere on my stuff, so why couldn't they just contact me directly? But oh well. They asked me for info. So, all right, here it is. How'd you hear about me? This is what I'm doing. Don't usually do this. I'm not suicidal. I have no ill will towards nobody. I love America. I am not violent. I'm not vengeful. I walk with God. I am a Christian man. And I just pray every day to walk humbly and embrace mercy. There it is. Amen. I love y'all. We'll see what happens.
WCCO 4 News.
You know, I'm about sick of your shit. Your entire channel, you're doing nothing but stalking and harassing me and another woman too. A woman you threaten to murder. You go around here threatening to murder female YouTubers, and I'm getting damn sick of it. And you need knocked the hell out, which probably happens to you on a daily basis in your real life. Brenda did not manipulate me. What had happened was she misinterpreted one of my videos. She tried to reach out to me, but I hardly ever check my comments or read my comments. And her messenger was down. And because she couldn't contact me through Messenger, she did a video. And that's what happened. She did a video. I didn't like what she said in the video, but we worked everything out. And she just explained everything to me. And I could see why she misinterpreted one of my videos. So that's all this is about. Okay, and you need to shut the hell up. Because you know what? Wendy needs a protection order filed against you too. And it's not over yet. It just might happen. Because I'm tempted to reach out to her myself and tell her about you and Damien. See, you know better not to go around doing this to men. Because you tried it once and it was a major fail. They ran you off this platform. So keep up your shit. Keep up your shit. Tell you that it's easier for me to be voiced than to type. What Brenda told me was that she presented a theory to you as to why you lost your job and pension. You didn't say anything. So she just assumed that this is why you lost your job and pension, because you never said anything to her. And I've been saying this the entire time, that, you know, you lost your job and pension from all of this. And you never said anything up until now. I don't know if you got so tired of hearing it that you just decided, you know, not to respond. Maybe you're so sick and tired of hearing it now, you're finally like, hey, look, this isn't what happened. I don't know, but this is what she told me. This is just her theory that she presented to you. You didn't say anything, so she just assumed that's what happened. So I'm just, you know, she accepted my apology. She explained everything and presented the video and went over the video, and she misinterpreted it, which I could see how she did. And her messenger was down, so I worked everything out with her. But I'm going to tell you what, just for me talking to her, what has been done to me is just, it's criminal. Just for me talking to her. You know, I had an entire army come at me. And it's wrong, you know. I should have a right, anyone should have a right to talk to whoever they want. You know, that's the way I look at it. I was just talking to my one sister about it. She's like, you know what, you both can use a vacation. She's talking about when all this is all over, if it ever is, you know, take us both to Florida. That would be nice. You know, but things are starting to calm down, thank God. You know, is she still harassing you? I mean, what's going on? You know, if she's still harassing you, then I'll just... Well, yeah, she needs to stop, because, I mean, you were really good to Brenda. I mean, everyone knows that. So I'm not sure what's going on between the two of you. Hopefully you can work that out, too. Giving her the respect that she deserves. I really don't. Yeah, she was talking behind my back. She admitted that. But, you know, she admitted to doing that. But here's the thing. She told me that she told you why she lost her job. And another thing you were saying about that Picasso video you made, that's not why I set my videos on private, because some guy said something. I mean, that was a troll video. I explained this. And so I don't know if, you know, I have to remember too, you're diagnosed with PTSD from all of this. So I don't know if it's the PTSD that's making you tell these lies, or if you're just lying just to lie. I don't know. But that's not why I said, you know, prior to me meeting you, I had 150 or more videos set on private. I didn't. And, you know, I explained all this. So I really don't know what's going on, but you said that you didn't like proud American talking behind my back. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't like it either. But to be honest with you, maybe you should have never told me that, you know, because it's private, you know? And it's just... maybe you shouldn't have said anything and just went to her and told her to knock it off, you know? I don't know. Hopefully, you know, you can work all this out with Proud. Because you're not going to find a friend like her, you know, who's been this loyal and kind to you. And I think that you're making a big mistake. She just said here that you're harassing her. And I hope that that's not true. Because you shouldn't be harassing her at all. I mean, she did a lot for you. So you need to really think about this, and you owe her an apology. I just don't know if she's going to accept it. That's the thing. I really don't know. Yeah, I'm making this shit public. Main reason is I don't like typing, and it's better to hear voice. And I'm a little pissed off right now because Proud is very upset, and I don't blame her. And you need to fix this and make it right. Seriously. Minute Christmas shopping. When I come back, I'll see what you have to say about this. Brenda, it's and I don't like it. I mean, she told a lie about why I deleted all these videos, which wasn't true at all. Now you're telling me that you did tell her why you lost your job. And, you know, there's a lawsuit. So I don't understand why she's doing this. Maybe we can all meet up in a hangout and ask her what the hell's going on here and why she's telling these lies. Or what do we do? Just cut her loose? I don't know what to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's really cool. I don't know if she's just all stressed out and shit going on and her head's getting screwed up. I just don't like her lying to us. And it's not making us look good. And it's definitely not it's making her look worse. You know, and if she's going to be doing this, I don't think she's worth fighting for, you know? I really don't. Unless we just talk to her when all of this is done. Might be the best thing to do. But I want to know why she's doing this. And yeah, hell yeah, I'm doing a video. Damn straight. When I get pissed off, I do 90 videos in a row. But you know, I gotta talk to you about this. I really do. We gotta figure out what the hell's going on here. And why is she doing this shit? And if you were talking behind my back, I feel that should have been kept private, you know? That should have never been repeated. She should have said to you, hey, knock it off. That's what I would do. I'll be back later on this evening. I got a lot to do. I got last minute Christmas shopping. I gotta do laundry. I gotta do this. I gotta do that Forged by Fire just backed you up about your job. And she even said, I don't like Proud American, but you know, it's true what she's saying. I don't know if she deleted her comment or I just can't find it, but you know, she did say it on one of my videos. But we have to, like, can you explain to me, I did ask you this, how would turn your compliments of her paintings into something ugly. I'm curious. lot going on. We all do. Or if she just is a liar. I don't know. But I think what we need to do is we need to cut her loose and just move on and just stay away from this altogether. I think that would be, it's what we have to do. Especially after this happening to us. I mean, we really look like fools right now, and I'm sure you agree with me. You should have never fought for her, and I never should have fought for you. I feel bad, especially for you. Especially. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't. And I hope she's not harassing you anymore. She needs to leave you alone. And I was wrong for coming at you. You know, and I'm not going to do that again, I can tell you that. So I'll be home later on in the evening. I don't know. And then I'll check my messages, and then I'll delete the videos later on throughout the night. You know, she said, you know what, I'm not going to repeat it because then I will be snitching. I'll be home later on.